the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to it. Hope you're having an awesome and nice day. Weather doing pretty good so far. Cooler today, once again. Enjoy it while we got it, because as the week progresses, the warmer weather comes with us. So enjoy. Yep. If you're a feller or a lady that likes it, say 75, 78, and today's your Shangri-La.
This is the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Today's today's park day, I decided. As long as the wind cooperates, today's park day.
15 to 20 this afternoon, so
that'll be fine. That's a light breeze. It's doable
for us. Yeah, you know, we've seen worse.
We've seen a lot worse. I was legitimately worried my windows were going to be blown in
over the weekend
at the windstorms on Friday and Saturday. Yeah,
there was some big uns. Big uns in the bunch.
Yeah.
That's southeast New Mexico. And from what I heard, we were getting like the brunt of it. Like there was parts up north, and they're dealing with like 70-mile-an-hour winds and stuff.
I don't know if this is a consistent thing, but literally every single time I'm in Amarillo, it's like 50-mile-an-hour winds, like all the time.
Yeah, Texas seems like
it seems like they have way worse wind than even we have, but consistently.
Yeah, because I think it's flatter.
Maybe it's just all the plains land.
Yeah, we got
hills
like
to block it.
Here in Roswell, we're kind of in the valley there.
That almost makes things worse though, because then you get wind tunnel effects.
Sure. Well, it just depends on which way the winds are blowing. You know, for there, it's no matter what direction it just is blowing. At least certain ways it'll wind tunnel us or block it for us, and out there it's kind of every which way.
Yeah.
So that's my guess. I have no scientific knowledge whatsoever to back anything up I just said right there. I'm just me spitballing. So. It sounds right, and we'll go with it.
I will argue that the reason we're experiencing so much more wind, there's just too many butterflies. Yeah. I mean, if the butterfly effect is in fact real, a butterfly flap of wing on the one side of the world can cause a tsunami on the other side. So, yeah, stop it.
Yeah.
And here we are opening up the butterfly exhibit at the zoo.
Well,
we're causing our own problem.
You know what? Using that logic, be careful about blinking too fast.
That's true.
Because that might
you're not wrong.
Cause a problem there, too.
Hey, blinking, knock it off.
Excessive blinking.
Trying to wear my floppy hats.
Yeah, excessive blinking might pick up the winds.
Sorry, are you saying Abe Lincoln?
Hey, blinking. No, I said, hey, blinking.
That makes much more sense.
I'm on the east side. I'm on the west side. Oh, man. Sorry. I will never. I know there's a lot of negatives. That might have been a quadruple negative. I will not ever laugh at a Men in Tights reference.
Oh, yeah. It's necessary.
It is. It is.
It's what makes the world livable. You find out certain things that certain people make certain amounts of money in a certain amount of time.
That's right.
makes you lose your will to go to work.
Just want to hurry up and get out of these dresses and back into our tights.
Tights.
Let's get out of these dresses and back into our tights. Even the dumbest of jokes.
Oh, yeah.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. And literally 10 people threw ears at him. It's so dumb. It's so funny.
Wall to wall, it's stupid. I gotta go, guys.
Yeah. See, that was a Home Alone reference.
That's so good.
That's a reference with a reference of a reference. Mm-hmm. But anyway, a happy Tuesday. That's what my point to all that.
Yeah, pretty much. How was your birthday?
Nice. Quiet.
Yeah.
The way I like it.
Nice.
Went out to dinner again and had a nice meal. And yesterday I took the afternoon off, so I rolled out of here about 12:30 or so and spent the rest of the day doing nothing. I went home.
As one should on one's birthday.
Went home and had me some sandwich and watched some shows that only I like, that no one else likes. And had a nice quiet afternoon, me and the cats, and just chilled. And
when you mentioned that you wanted a little Kim free time on the TV, I understand that to the point where on my weekends with my kids, I will intentionally lose sleep to wake up early before them so that I can have my TV back. Just for a minute.
Just for a minute. Just having a little thing before you got put on Blue's Clues or whatever's the...
It's Bluey. Oh, boy, is it Bluey. Quote whole episodes of Bluey. My kids, my son, we were sitting there watching it last night. He was saying the words along with the show. I'm like, you guys have seen this too much. When a 3-year-old can memorize episodes, y'all have seen this too many times.
Yeah. See, I do that on like Friday and Saturday nights. That's usually my night.
To watch Bluey? No,
yes. Yeah. Kim goes to bed at like 9. I'm like, all right, where's the Wiggles?
Right? Heck yeah. My me time. Teletubbies. I've got my big gulp. Got my plate of wings. Can I bring something up?
I know what you're going to say.
I know you know what I'm going to say. I learned something yesterday.
I learned that fact years ago.
That maybe I should have known. Maybe it's just a known thing around here, but it blows my mind.
By the way, their food is good.
I'm
even
sure,
though they don't
absolutely.
Have the one thing you're talking of.
The restaurant Wings in Artesia does not sell wings.
I know.
What?
It's a sweet bit of irony,
I thought
isn't it?
for sure they had wings. What? They've been open for a long time. You'd think at some point you learn, to master a wing.
I think that's what it is. The locals are just like, of course there's no wings
Maybe they
there.
did. Maybe they did at one point. And maybe it wasn't a sell for them, and so they stopped. That blew my mind when I found that out.
Yeah.
It's like me opening up JP's Burger Shack. Oh, we don't have burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Right? What? Then why are you here? Open up a fish and chip shop. Oh, sorry, we're out of fish.
I'm guessing there is a reason why they call it Wings.
I'm sure.
It probably makes complete sense when they say it.
It's probably a family name or something.
But yes, from the outside looking in, one place called Wings, one would think, oh, I bet I get some good buffalo wings or chicken wings or something.
If I'm driving through with my family and I think, they're going to want something. I'm hungry. Here's a place called Wings. I bet I can get a good wing there.
Yeah.
It's just, I feel like you're doing your travel through traffic a disservice.
Yeah. You know what? This reminds me. When I was a teenager and my neighborhood got its first Applebee's.
Ooh.
And I had not heard of Applebee's.
You were eating good in the neighborhood.
Yeah. My neighborhood got one. And this is before Applebee's was, worldwide, like where it showed up everywhere, like on Talladega Nights and stuff. This was like, oh, what is this? So when I first saw Applebee's, I thought maybe like all of their food had apple in it. So I was like, there's no way I'm going to Applebee's. I don't like apple. And I'm, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then I realized, oh, that's not what it's called. But
And
for a while, I thought it was all apple-based cuisine.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't really
Come on
want
down
any
to
of
the
this.
Apple Shack.
I was like, I don't want any of this.
But I mean, at some point, they have had, if they don't consistently, they have had some type of apple dessert, I'm sure, on the menu.
I'm assuming one could get an apple pie there at some point or another.
I feel like you're intentionally turning away from the what could be a marketing thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not in that business. It hurts my brain is all I'm saying.
I understand.
To the point where I brought it up in the group text, which is why Mike knew I was going to bring it up.
Yeah. And that, you know what? That was my afternoon too. I was spending my afternoon
dodging HBDs.
Well, no, because not on Facebook. Like I didn't get any of that, but like people were texted me, and I got a lot of texts, and so it was very nice. People reaching out personally and saying happy birthday and things like that. To me, I look at that different than Facebook.
And there was the dude that sent over the male stripper. I appreciate it, but it was a bit much. Kim liked it. It just seemed like a bit much for me.
Well, and they
seemed more like a gift for her.
They kept saying a guy named Mike Winters ordered it. And I'm like,
come to think of it, it might have just been Kim.
And I was like, no. And I was like, yeah, I distinctly heard it. It was like the radio guy wants a male stripper.
One book, Male Strippers and Me, This Sort of Thing Is My Bag, Baby, by Mike Winters.
Yeah, that's it.
That's not my bag, baby.
Exactly. But no, it was nice. It was. I got caught up on my winning time.
Nice.
I got caught up.
You were only like one episode behind on that, right?
I was. Mm-hmm. But it was a good one.
Yeah, it was a good one.
I love that show, and I don't know why I do. I get excited when that comes on each week. A couple episodes, like there's a few things like TV shows, like ooh, the new one's out. I'm excited for. That's one of them I'm into right now.
I feel kind of let down in myself that I haven't actively pursued trying to find the first episode of Better Call Saul. I'm sure it's somewhere, maybe on
Netflix.
They don't show the new episodes. They wait till the season runs. 6.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the season. Yeah. Saul's up to this season.
They're just starting their 6th season.
Yeah,
which is actually going to be split into 2 parts.
It's sitting on my DVR.
Is it? Send it over.
If I could, I would.
Shoot it over.
I guess you can sneak over my house at 2 a.m. and watch.
That's the irritating thing. Like, you can watch online. All you have to do is just put in your cable provider and info. It's like, I don't have that.
Put in someone else's cable provider.
I don't have others.
No?
Can I borrow your info?
Maybe if I can. I don't know it. That's just it. I got.
We're just actively talking about committing crimes on the radio.
Ignore that.
It's fine.
I gotta ask my wife. I don't know that.
We're just having a man-to-man.
Like I know some of the passwords, but the DirecTV one,
dude.
It's my wife. I don't know it.
As a single man, I've learned over the course of the past 2 years how in trouble I actually am with remembering anything. She was the brain. She was very much the one who remembered everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Directions. Thank God for Google Maps.
Yep, I hear you.
I'd be a sad, lost little boy.
I haven't even done the rundown.
Oh, we should do that.
Probably should get all that going. We're going to replay an interview this hour. Krista Noble from the Humane Society joined us about last Thursday. So we're going to play that interview for you here in a minute. And then next hour. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tanner.
It's like nice eyes.
Tanner wished me happy birthday.
Oh. Sweet fella.
In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, Bill Williams, Chaffetz County Manager, is going to join us. I'm going to fill in last county commission meeting happened last week and give us the highlights and all the updates on what's going on around Chaffetz County this morning. And then I thought I'd replay our interview we had with Juanita Jennings with the City of Roswell. She's talking about Brew at the Zoo and butterfly exhibits.
Again, causing our own problems.
Yes, and various other things that are happening in and around the city. So we'll play that for you if you're looking for things to do over the next couple months. Listen to that interview.
Well, technically, we're just causing problems for China. It's their butterflies that we need to worry about. So maybe we should turn our focus more to Chinese butterfly eradication.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's just cull them. We got to figure out a way to get rid of Chinese butterflies.
Well, what if we just retort back? Would it cancel out?
Just fight their butterflies with our butterflies? Mm-hmm. Let's see. I feel like at this point we're stepping over Geneva Convention.
I don't know.
Requirements.
We got Dragonfly Festival. Will they release some butterflies that maybe
just an army of butterflies just on the coastlines, just flapping. But going nowhere, just flapping.
My wife's second grade class raised some butterflies, let them out just the other day.
What if we put tiny leashes on the butterflies so that they're flapping, but they're not actually going anywhere, thusly staying stationary and creating wind energy?
Like tethered balloons?
Yes. Just maybe some of them will go in circles. We'll deal with those. Those are, it's survival of the fittest.
We need dental floss or something to hold them down.
That's what I'm thinking. Tiny hot glue guns, just.
But don't use that glide stuff. They'll slip right out of that.
Right. Just tiny butterfly leashes. That's what we need.
All right, 7:19. Before PETA gives me a call, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks pretty good today. Comfortable daytime highs. We'll be staying in the mid-70s with sunshine and just a little bit breezy. Overnight, a few clouds as some moist air begins to come over the mountains. We'll be in the low 50s and windy. Slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm on Wednesday afternoon. Otherwise, it'll be fair with our high in the upper 80s, 90s by Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 44 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 47% with winds out of the south at 5 miles per hour. Sunny today with a high of 75 expected, mid-70s, not too bad. South winds this morning, pleasant, 5 to 10, but picking up 15 to 20 for this afternoon. Mostly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 50. South winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. For you Wednesday, they're saying there's a chance. Like yesterday, they were saying a chance of sprinkles. It's now been upgraded to showers and thunderstorms. Yes, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms for tomorrow afternoon. Partly cloudy, warming back up. Highs in the upper 80s tomorrow, 87 with south winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. That 20% chance of showers continues into Wednesday night, mainly before midnight, mostly clear with an overnight low of 52. South winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. We'll be back into the mid-90s by Thursday, so enjoy that 75 today. Sunny, 94 on Thursday with southwest winds 5 to 10 early, 15 to 20 for the afternoon. Friday, we're looking at sunny skies with highs near 90, and then for the weekend, 87 and sunny Saturday, sunny and 90 on Sunday. So, like I said, enjoy that 70s today because it's all uphill from here. All right, 7:21. We're going to take about a 2.5-minute break. We'll get you into your Roswell Livestock Report recap, quick break, and then we're going to play our interview with Crystal Noble from last week from the Humane Society. Don't go away.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,707 head of cattle sold on Monday on a higher market with excellent buyer attendance. Compared to last week, stocker calves sold 5 to 10 higher, feeder cattle 4 to 8 higher, packer cows and bulls $3 to $5 higher. 3 to 400 pound steers 208, 218. 3 to 400 pound heifers 171, 179. 4 to 500 pound steers 190, 208. 4 to 500 pound heifers 162, 171. 5 to 600 pound steers 177, 190. 5 to 600 pound heifers 156, 162. 6 to 700 pound steers 159, 177. 6 to 700 pound heifers 138, 156. 7 to 800 pound steers 144, 159. 7 to 800 pound heifers 130, 138. Packer cows 80 to 90. Canner and cutter cows 65 to 75. Packer bulls $1 to $111.50. Feeder bulls 75 to 85. The top half the cow calf pairs $1,000 to $1,375 per pair. Top half the bred cows $900 to $1,100 per head. We do appreciate the business, and we'll talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
The weather is heating up. Time for new beginnings and time to get a new vehicle for you and your family. Richland Chevy Buick GMC and Richland Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram both have amazing spring deals on both new and pre-owned vehicles. You'll find a huge inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Or better yet, customize your new vehicle. Order it today and build the vehicle of your dreams. Right now, Richland is offering top dollar for your trade. And with the Richland Brand Champion Program, you can ride with confidence knowing you are taken care of long after the sale. Ride for the brand that rides for you. Richland, where service is always job one.
So what am I doing with my tax refund? I'm giving my home a makeover with new furniture from Glenn's. A new living room, dining room, and bedroom. Even a curio cabinet for my elephant collection. Glenn's has beautiful, high-quality furniture that I'll be proud of for years. And Glenn's will deliver it for free. So my tax refund and I are headed for Glenn's. And my home is going to be fresh, bright, and beautiful. Since 1953, people have been coming to Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits or the astronauts. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Humane Society, Crystal Noble back with us. Good morning.
Good morning, officially here
officially now. Officially, yes. Official. Harump. But
Don't mind the hippo talk earlier. That's
right.
In the past.
That was not official talk. This is official talk here. So don't go petting hippos at zoos without permission. Of course.
Without permission. There you
go. For folks that aren't familiar, Crystal joins us twice a month, and we chat about pets that are looking for homes at the Humane Society, and of course, just encouraging support for the Humane Society, whether it's becoming a member or utilizing and shopping and participating at the thrift store. All of those things are making donations. All of that helps the Humane Society do what it does to make sure that we find fun, loving homes for all these pets. So that's the goal. Some days it's easier than others, but that's the goal.
It is. Some days, some days I absolutely love my job.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some days to where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And it's not because of the animals. It's because of the type of people we have to deal with.
Sure. Yeah, people don't. There's a lot of people out there that don't treat animals like members of the family, and
they do very cruel and inhumane things, and it makes me very angry. And legally, I can't go around shooting everybody that does that stuff. So,
but you wanna?
Oh, many.
Yeah, I understand.
But
you
you
get frustrated. You get mad.
There are days where certain people just make the job very hard to do.
Sure.
But the animals, at the end of the day, is the main reason why we're there, is to take care of them and make sure that they can find a home that's going to treat them with all the love they have, and as a family member, and do everything right by them that they can.
Absolutely. And dare I say, provide a benefit to the family as well. I mean,
right.
I mean, there's a reason. I'm not talking service dogs and stuff, but in actuality, that's kind of what they're doing. Just they don't have the formal training for it per se.
People who have animals have a happier life.
Yeah, exactly. They just, you get, and for some people, it's a reason to, especially it's older senior, maybe the kids are all grown and everything, so that dog's their companion, or that cat is their companion. That's
right.
That's the one they fawn over. That gives them, when your life slows down and you start, we all go through it at some point where you're like, or will be going through it, and it's like, well, all right, what's my purpose here? What's my thing? And sometimes that pet and providing love and giving it, that's their purpose. And so that's all wonderful things to do. So this is why we want to adopt. We want to, all the things we talk about, teaching kids responsibility, companions, those are all good ideas as long as all of them are done with supervision and done under the right pretenses. To just do that without all parties involved or informed, or as a parent, you're expecting the kids to take care of the animal. They're not going to do it right. You're going to have to step in. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And you got to be prepared to do that. And if you're not, then you shouldn't adopt a pet.
No, and we screen everybody who comes through to adopt from us. It's not like a pick and go. It's nothing like that. When you walk in, you're welcome to walk through, look at the animals. If there's one you're interested in, we'll tell you anything we know about that animal, do introductions. But if we feel you are not a fit family, we will refuse any adoption.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you're either going to see that animal again, or worse, the animal's is going to die or mistreated or something like
right. And the way we operate is we would rather have that animal with us than in a home that's going to neglect it and mistreat it.
Yep.
Because we know what care we provide for that animal. And at the main reason of our job is to find these animals a suitable, loving home. And if we feel that you do not fit those criteria, we will not adopt you.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And so please understand that when you go through the protocols, that is to adopt a pet, and they're like, why so strict? This is why. This is why, because we want to make sure, and 9 times out of 10, that's not a problem. Most people are like, yeah, I got a fenced-in yard. We got a loving home. We got shelter, water, food. It's going to be, or no, my cat is going to be indoors only, and they're all going to be spayed, neutered, and all that good stuff. Most people don't, but you always get one or two that, my dog's an outdoor dog, guard cat or guard dog.
Guard cat, I've seen a few of them.
Yeah, and so and we don't want chaining up a dog in the backyard with a water bowl and that's where its home is all the time is not a way to live for a dog.
No, that basically is just a yard ornament.
Yeah.
And we're not about yard ornaments.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a yard ornament, go to Ace or Home Depot,
Yeah.
get a gnome.
Hobby Lobby, they got a great
Yeah.
selection of things you can throw in your yard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Home Depot, any of these places got stuff.
If that's what you're looking for, go get a gnome and put a chain around its neck. Put a water bowl next to it. Don't try to go and get a dog.
Yeah. Someone told me, go get one of those robot toy dogs at Walmart or something and do that.
One of the battery-operated dogs.
Yeah. Because that one, when you're bored with it, you walk away and it just sits there. But, you don't have to, but yeah, that's, if you're not willing to make these animals part of your family, then maybe you should think elsewhere about it or not adopting. And I know animal control, they have less stringent requirements, and so people choose that, which is fine, but provide the loving home. Don't, because if you don't, then odds are pretty good it's going to end right back up at one of these facilities or worse.
Somebody, like one of your neighbors, is going to call us.
Yeah.
And we're going to send them out for a welfare check, and then your dog's going to be picked up.
Sure. Or even if you're not knowing what you're getting into, because I think you also get probably some returns because they don't realize, oh, yeah, dogs and cats do things. Like sometimes they're puppies and they chew stuff and you got to train them. You can't just,
right.
It's not like a phone you pull it out of the box and start using it. You got to train it.
They don't come pre-trained.
Yeah. And so people don't realize all that involved, and they're like, I can't handle this. And so please know fully what you're getting into before you decide that you're going to make a pet part of your home.
And one of the things that we do is we work with one of the dog trainers here in town. And he has a special discounted price for anybody who adopts a dog from the Humane Society that goes through his training class. And it's J Paws, it's Jimmy Preston.
Okay.
So if you adopt a dog from us, and we're pretty sure this dog is going to need a little bit of training and certain issues, we will give you his card.
Good.
And we will tell you, make sure that you tell him it's adopted from the Humane Society, because he does do a special price for that.
Yeah. If you want to save a little money doing it.
A dog that has an issue that, we're unsure how to deal with, we'll call Jimmy. He'll come down there and he'll help us deal with it. So that way, when we do put that animal up for adoption, that issue is already dealt with.
Sure. And the thing is, it's all about understanding pets. And this is where, and what I mean by that is animals' behavior, there's a cause and effect. Something is causing them to act in that way. If it's out of character or irrational, something different. Maybe it's a medical issue. Maybe it's an environment issue. Maybe it's a food issue. It could be. It's not the dog or the cat being rowdy or whatever. You know what I mean? It's doing it because it's trying to communicate there's an issue, and we don't understand their communications, and so we misinterpret.
And one thing that people really need to understand is when you go to a training class.
Yeah.
That training class is for you
as much as the dog.
You how to speak to your dog.
Otherwise, the trainer's going to be able to control your dog, and you ain't. And that's how it works. You have to be very much involved at every facet of that.
Basically, the training class is for you, and it teaches you how to handle your dog, how to command your dog where your dog will understand you and what you're wanting, because a lot of the times people don't understand. Your dog does not understand, do this.
Right.
Yeah. They understand, words, sit, down, stay.
One word
you've
commands.
Taught them.
Yeah.
You can't, some people have gone to the extreme of saying, go to the fridge and get me a beer. But, they've worked very hard at that.
Sure.
But your basic commands, down, stay, sit, roll over, those are commands that, your dog is easier to understand with the training and with you working with them. They're not just going to come out of the box pre-ready. This is not Robots, the cartoon where you build your kid and it walks and it's ready to go.
Exactly.
It doesn't work that way.
I've even heard, when you name your pets, maybe use like one-syllable names and things because it's easier for them to understand and interpret it quicker that that's their name, that's their... I've heard that. I mean, I've got multiple syllable names for my animals, but I've heard like for dogs especially, if you name them like Rex, Bob, things like that, they'll pick up on their name quicker than if you name it something more elaborate, that's got multiple syllables and things. If
you reward them with a treat every time you call their name, they pick it up symbolize quicker. Their name a whole lot quicker.
Gotcha. Well,
like my Dane, it's Titus. So, from a very young age, he was referred to as his name. But when he first came home to us, you would call Toby, Snooky, whatever, and he'd come running. Yeah. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
when I call your name, you come.
Yeah.
Titus. And then he'd be like, and I'm like, Titus. And then he'd look, oh, hey, that's me.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
It's all in how you react with your animal when you first get them and you're naming them.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, they want to see how the dog acts before they name the dog, because the personality,
Sure.
That's...
They want to fit the name to the personality. Yeah, it makes sense.
Right.
Absolutely.
But, when you are choosing a name for your animal, just make sure that you reward them when you call them by the new name.
Mm-hmm.
So that way they know, hey, that's...
I'm telling you, positive reinforcement is the key with animal training. That's, and I'll tell you right now, potty training is crate training. It's so easy with a crate training because dogs naturally don't go to the bathroom where they sleep. And so, and if you treat the crate like a place of quiet for them, as a place where they can go and chill, then they'll like it. It's
downtime.
Yeah. Don't use it as a punishment. When they do something bad, don't send them to their crate because now they're going to look at it as a punishment, not a place that's theirs. So, and when I had my dog, I'm telling you, crate training, we had almost zero accidents in the house training her because it was so easy. And to get her to go to bed and everything was easy. I just say, all right, bedtime, and she'd willingly go right in there, be happy as a clam. You shut her in, she's good to go for the night. Get her in the morning. We had zero issues when you treat that place like it's her own, and she loved it. And sometimes she'd go there on her own and be like, it's not time yet, dude. She's like, I'm just here. And
it's funny because Titus does the same thing.
Yeah.
His crate, because he's so big, is like the size of this desk. But
he needs one, yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny because, he is like 100% housebroken.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he will not, he will tear the walls down to get outside before he does anything in the house.
Yeah.
He will not do anything in his crate. And when he wants to lay down and get away from the world, he closes the door on his own. He sticks his paw, grabs that door, and closes it.
I need me time. I'm out.
And I'm like, what are you doing? Come on. And he's like, huh.
That's right.
And I'm like, okay.
I need a break.
And he's like, 5 minutes,
That's
Mama,
right.
5 minutes. But he was so easy to train. And then, smaller dogs, unfortunately, they have smaller bladders.
Sure.
So they require a little bit more
Frequent trips.
yes.
Yeah.
And more of a reminder because little dogs unfortunately can't always hold their bladder, the 4 or 5 hours in between your lunch hours.
Yeah. And then puppies in general, even big ones, they spittle when they get excited and things and stuff.
Those are called happy pills.
Yeah, and a lot of times they outgrow that, but the little dogs, sometimes that's a continuance their whole life. But bigger dogs get that too. They most of them outgrow it. But because my dog Sissy did the same thing. She'd piddle on you like, you can't get mad at her. She's just excited. She's trying. She's doing her thing, and you got to understand that. And you that's that. You got to have patience with a pet. That's just it. You gotta because they're gonna screw up, and you gotta maintain the even.
They're
keel.
like a toddler that never gets out of toddler stage.
And to be honest, they're interpreting every facial expression, every feeling, everything, and they're interpreting it, and that's how they're trying to figure out if you're happy or mad at them. And they may not understand why you're mad or happy at them. And so when they piddle on something like that or do something accidentally, and you get mad at them, they may not understand why you get mad at them. So it's one of those things. And don't get me wrong, discipline when there's things doing, you got to handle business. But a lot of the time, understand most of these things aren't malicious in intent. They are just them trying to learn the ways. And so for you to get frustrated might set back your training and their understanding of what you want them to do.
And the majority of the time, just using a different tone of voice with them is enough to reinforce them that, I'm not supposed to do that.
Like, yeah, exactly. And I get out to the point where if Sissy was goofing around, like, Sissy, what are you doing? And she kind of keeps going around, Sissy. And she, and stop, it's done. She knew.
You dad voice.
Yeah, I just go from Sissy to Sissy, and then it's all, what?
Like, you're really calling me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she did that, and that's, again, training, and it's all trust. Training is about trust, establishing trust. They're trying to trust you, you're trying to trust them, and at the end of the day, that's all you're establishing is that trust, that to where that dog or cat, at the end of the day, they're relying on you for every facet of their life, and so you got to kind of, give them that trust so they know they can trust you. And once that happens, they're going to go through walls for you. They're going to go through and do all kinds of stuff for you, and including sit when you tell them to sit, lay down when you tell them to lay down, and roll over when you tell them to roll over.
Right.
You know, that's how training works. You got to. It's like you said. You're training the owner as much as the pet, and I'd say you're actually teaching them to have a relationship together, and that's
you're
what
bonding
you're doing.
them, you know, because you're giving them that communication together that one understands each other.
Yeah.
You know, when the dog does something a certain way, you know what that means now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Versus, you know, why is my dog over here twitching his head to the side and left, you know?
Sure. And it's not just dogs. Cats are the same way.
Oh, yeah.
It's different responses, obviously, because they're not as like loyal, you know, they kind of, but they love and respect you just as much. They just show it and do it differently.
You have to earn cats' affections.
But like for my cats, like right now, I mean, I get greeted at the door just like dogs every day. They lay. I mean, the one cat pushes envelopes to my wife. Me, not so much, because she knows I put up with a lot with her. But then when I'm done, I say, bah, and then she's done. She's like, she starts getting lippy about something. I'm like, ah. And she's like, okay, I crossed the line. Now my wife, she pushes a little more envelopes. But for me, she knows I don't give her as many chances. But what I mean is there's that love, because she get mad at me, and then 5 seconds later, she's back in my lap wanting me to love on her. And it's like, oh, okay, that's the relationship, you know.
It's like they have a goldfish brain. They're like, oh, I forgot I already did something. Let's go back.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It is. We're running short on time, but I definitely want to let's spotlight some of the pets. Talk about any deals we got, or any events or anything going on at the Humane Society.
I know we're supposed to be having First Fridays with Tascosa.
Okay.
That should be the first Friday in May.
Okay.
Which I think is
next week.
Yeah.
Next Friday, whatever date that is.
I don't actually know. The following Friday.
The following Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. We got one more
so
Friday.
It's going to be May 6th.
Okay.
Sorry.
So it'll be 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Weeks, yes.
Okay. Very good.
And then we have the Bulldog pups. They're American Bulldog mix.
Okay.
They're coming on 6.5 months of age. They're not very big. Unfortunately, the lady who released them to us is not sure what got her dog pregnant.
Okay.
But they're already smaller than mom. And they're 6 months of age. They're probably about that tall.
And so are they about done at 6 months, or are they going to grow a little bit more?
They might grow a little bit more. I don't know exactly, because not knowing what she got bred with.
Gotcha. But odds are pretty good they're not going to get much larger. They're about where they need to be.
I don't think they're going to be very big at all. Yeah. And one of them, I call him my turkey. Or she, because when she barks, it sounds like a turkey gobble.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'm like, it took me forever to figure out which one it was. But
you got to record that if you get a chance.
Yeah,
you get isolated
and I'm like,
put that on
that?
Facebook. That'd be funny.
So I call her my turkey. But they're all happy. They're sweet. They're super affectionate. They love people, and they just want love. And we have 5 of them.
So if you're looking for a bulldog to bring home and be a part of the family.
And the good part about it is whatever they were bred with, they don't have the smushed face.
So they don't have to deal with some of the congestion and those issues that bulldogs tend to deal with, or pugs, or any of those kind of smushed in face type dogs. So.
Yes.
Which is, by the way, that's all for a reason. Like, and I think that's a hunting going into holes thing, why they have the smushed up faces.
The reason they have the smushed up faces so that their bottom jaw protrudes up, so that way they can wrap around and have the jaw pressure too.
There you go. Gotcha. I knew that there's reasons for all that. And I know, like, I think Jack Russell's one of they go in holes. That's why they kind of are the way they are.
Jack Russell's go in holes. Dachshund's go in holes. Rat Terriers go in holes.
I saw Jack Russell chase a deer for a half a minute, and then the deer said, "Wait a minute, why am I running from this?" And turned around and went back.
He's like, "Oh, hey!"
But I swear that day, and the deer were like, "No!" And then they literally wouldn't stop. They're like, "Wait a minute!" And then he saw the dog come running back this
bigger
way.
Than you. We do have the 2 Dane mixes. They're not very big. They're Doberman Great Dane mixes.
Okay. So if you want a big dog feel without actually having a big dog or ginormous dog, this might be a cool little pet for you.
They're even actually smaller than the Dobermans.
Oh, wow.
So
they're kind of a medium-sized dog at the end of the day.
And
but you want to mess
Max
with
and
people
Rose.
like, I got a Doberman, and they're like, oh, that's much. No, it's not about this big.
Yeah. It's not the min pin, it's the mid pin.
Okay.
Not the miniature pincher, but the medium pincher.
Yeah, mid pin. I like it.
Mid pin. We do have Chelsea, which is a Shepherd Healer mix. She's super, super sweet. We have Sissy, which is a Pit Bull mix.
Oh, nice.
She is super, super, super sweet.
Cool.
She's probably about 55 pounds. She's a black brindle. She sits. She'll shake.
So she's had some training.
She's had some training.
Someone's worked with her.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
And she's 80% housebroken.
Okay.
She holds it to the best of her capabilities, but sometimes you just got to go when you got to go.
Sure. So maybe someone that works part-time or can at least let them out there during the day or something.
Right.
Probably more beneficial for a family that can do that.
Until she gets a little bit more into a routine.
Sure.
But,
how old is this dog?
Sissy is 2, I want to say.
2 years old. So still got the little bit of the puppy mentality,
yes.
but
loves to explode squeaky toys.
Okay. Well, usually dogs of that, they love to chew on things, and they're the ones that you want to give them the chew toys, but they destroy them in 3 seconds. And you're like, yeah, like my dog loved tennis balls, but
would stitch it.
She would rip it apart like in 15 minutes. It'd be a tatter of stuff.
Polly is the same way. You give Polly a tennis ball, and it is peeled and poof. And it's like blink of an eye. And I'm like, how do you do that so quick?
And I'm like, hey, we could have played catch till you ate it.
Yeah. Well, we had one of the schools did a toy drive for us, and so there was a various of toys. Well, we already know that Polly shreds, but she also eats the inside, so she doesn't get those anymore.
So you don't want to have her those.
So we got like 25 tennis balls. Well, they lasted a total of 4 days because we kept changing them throughout the day, and
as soon as you get them, they're gone as quick as
And then Sissy, she got it was a bull.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be like a like the Chicago Bulls.
Okay.
But it was on a giraffe neck.
Okay.
Yeah, that took about 20 minutes, and Sissy had it kaboofed, and I was like, oh.
And you know what the part that stinks about it is you're like, okay, note to self, buy tough toys. And so you'll buy like these hard rubber tires or things. You're like, oh, they can't destroy that. And they know that, and they don't want nothing to do with it. Like I'd get those for her. She'd pick it up, smell it, maybe lick it, maybe chew it for like a second, and then I put it in the toy box, and it would never be touched again.
Find the tire toys that have a squeaky inside.
Okay.
Titus has one at home.
And that one?
And that has lasted.
Okay.
Because he likes the squeaky.
Okay.
And so he can't get to the squeaky, so he continues to play with it.
So it's a good engaging toy for the dog. Cool. Yeah. See, that was my problem. Is I could never find either. I found something so tough that she didn't want to mess with it, or it wasn't tough enough and she destroyed it in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
That was kind of the thing.
Really quick thrift store.
Yeah.
So they are still working on all their projects, the spring cleaning and the construction.
Okay.
They should be on track to reopen on the 27th.
Awesome.
Permitting no setbacks.
Right.
But while they have been closed, what they have been doing is they have gone through and they've removed everything off of the racks, shoes, everything.
Okay.
And completely stocked with everything completely new.
So basically, you just changed out all the inventory.
Yep, they did a complete wipeout because their donation is a plethora to just completely have restocked the entire store, and everything is completely different.
Nice. So if you haven't
Purses
been,
are different, shoes are different, clothes are different, wall decor is different.
So even if you were there last time, it's all new stuff.
Yes,
so,
it is
cool.
completely everything new. Toys, everything.
And when do they plan on opening back up?
It should be Wednesday the 27th,
Okay.
barring no setbacks from the construction, because we're having the book room redone.
Okay.
And so to make it less hazardous, because books, metal, or wood, it tends to slope and slant.
Sure.
And
yeah.
we don't
Books
want
get
anybody.
heavy.
Yeah. We don't want nobody to have a bookshelf fall on them.
Yeah, when you have bookshelves and they're kind of bowed in the middle there, maybe you ought to lighten the load a little bit or think about getting a new bookshelf.
Yeah. So, we're getting a whole new book room this go around.
Cool.
But if you want to call on the 27th before going down, just to make sure that they are able to reopen, as long as everything gets finished in time,
Okay.
they should reopen on the 27th.
Do me a favor. If there is an issue, shoot me a text that day, and I'll announce on the radio for folks. Say, hey, delay on that, or no game on. They're going to be open today.
Okay, cool. I'll definitely do that.
Okay.
But it's going to be complete new inventory, new everything, new books, new shoes, new clothes.
Nice.
They've got a ton of comforters and curtains, so if you need stuff for your house, they got various sizes.
Cool. So So when you come out next Wednesday, it should be a whole new shopping experience. And again, every single thing you buy in there, that money goes back to the programs, back to those pets, taking care of their vet bills, paying the light bill, cleaning supplies, whatever's needed to take care of the facility and the pets. That's what it's going to be used for. So.
Yes, and if you like casual summer dresses, they've got a ton of them.
Nice. If you want to have a summer dress party, good selection to choose from right there.
Yes.
Very cool. And of course, if you have stuff to donate, always, call ahead on things. They'll call and make arrangements, but they can even pick up and things depending on date times and all that kind of stuff. And especially if it's bigger ticket items, like bigger furniture and things, they take all of it, but certain times we don't have room or we don't.
Right.
So
if you call ahead and, say, hey, I've got this couch. It's approximately this size.
Yeah.
And give warning so that way they can either clear an area for it.
Sure.
Or ask you, can you bring it or can we pick it up at this day and time to give a chance to make room for it? Because unfortunately, our thrift store is not that big.
Yeah, it's not a superstore. Don't have that kind of room.
No. Unfortunately, no. So a lot of larger items all at once, kind of creates like a hazard in the thrift store, and we don't want anybody to trip, fall, or get hurt.
Sure.
So if you call ahead, we'll definitely make arrangements to get it in and get it taken care of.
Very good. So reach out. Don't forget, check out the website, roswellhumane.org. There you can see every single pet that is calling the Humane Society home right now.
Yes.
If you see not available next to their picture, that means they are still in quarantine. That does not mean they've been adopted. Those pets will be available at some point, depending on when they clear quarantine. Could be a weight issue, could be they waiting on vaccines or whatever it is. There's a reason why, or they're new to the facility and they want to make sure there's no health issues before they put them in general population, so to speak. So once all those barriers have been passed, then the not available goes away. But if you see one of those pets, you're like, oh, that's the one I want, is not, then I encourage you to call, check in with the Humane Society, keep tabs, and because at the end of the day, this tells Crystal and her staff that no, we got someone that wants to make this a loving home, and then you can basically get all the prerequisites done. If like they want to come out, and make sure you get spayed, neuter, make sure your your home and everything's good to go for all of this. And then when the dog is able to come out of quarantine, if there's meet and greets and all that, then we can do all that and go from there. So yeah. RoswellHumane.org there, and then of course being a member is another way to get involved.
Yes, and that is linked on the Facebook page as well.
Yeah, and then and come on by, give out the hours once again for thrift store and for the kennel.
The kennels are the kennels are Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 12 and 1 to 4:30, and then the thrift stores Wednesday through Saturday, 10 to 4:30.
But closed right now. We'll reopen next Wednesday, 27th. Update permitting on that one, as far as everything keeps going on according to plan.
It's looking smooth.
Good. Well, anytime there's renovations or anything like that, there's always delays. It's just the nature of the beast.
And a lot of it is because of lack of supplies.
Yeah, in COVID world, tenfold. Supply, demand, that's all.
Yep.
Yeah, I get it. I know. Well, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it, as always.
Thank you.
We'll see you here in a couple weeks, and hopefully we got some great stories of some loving dogs and homes and everything else making connections. So, be a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you then.
See ya.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. A number of GoFundMe pages have sprung up to help raise money for families affected by the McBride fire. Many buildings burned in the blaze and several people lost pets or livestock. Thankfully, no serious injuries to humans were reported. Some families have been staying in area hotels or motels. The Carlsbad Current-Argus reports at least a dozen fundraising pages have now been started to help those affected by the Ruidoso area fires. An Artesia man will face up to 43 years in prison when he's sentenced after a jury found him guilty Friday of 4 counts of sexual exploitation of a child. 45-year-old Edward Bingham was convicted Friday after a 3-day trial in Chavez County. Prosecutors alleged Bingham communicated and initiated sexual relations with a 14-year-old girl, which began in 2018 after he met the girl in a parking lot near the Roswell International Air Center. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
The deal is done. Elon Musk owns Twitter. Shareholders made a bundle. Twitter's board was exposed. So what will an Elon Musk-owned Twitter really look like? I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. Big changes are coming because Elon Musk believes in free speech. Some of Twitter's liberal activist employees will quit in a very public manner, as arbitrary bans of mostly conservative posters will end. Look for these accounts to be reinstated, including President Trump's. Conservatives will rejoice. Progressives will discombobulate, especially people like Robert Reich. Bill Clinton's former labor secretary, talking about Twitter, said that for democracies like America to survive, you've got to have censorship. I looked, by the way. I can't find anything like that in the First Amendment. Look for tweets to become longer, too. No more 280-word limit. Get more tech smarts at commando.com. It's a no-brainer. CarShield makes it easy and affordable to protect your car from expensive repairs. Protection plans start at around $100 a month and cover more parts than ever before. When you need a repair, you choose the mechanic, and CarShield's administrators handle the rest. No paperwork or headaches. Plans include coast-to-coast roadside assistance, rental car options, and trip reimbursement at no extra cost. CarShield has helped millions of drivers. That's why it's America's #1 car protection company. Plus, get coverage today and you can lock in your rate. That means as long as you own your car, no matter how old it is, you're protected from the rising cost of parts and repairs. Go to carshield.com/Kim or call 800-391-8888 to save 10% on your plan and lock in your pricing forever. That's carshield.com/Kim or call 800-391-8888 to save 10%. A deductible may apply. CarShield.com/Kim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks pretty good today. Comfortable daytime highs. We'll be staying in the mid-70s with sunshine and just a little bit breezy. Overnight, a few clouds as some moist air begins to come over the mountains. We'll be in the low 50s and windy. Slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm on Wednesday afternoon. Otherwise, it'll be fair with our high in the upper 80s, 90s by Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. The Goddard Rockets baseball team in a position to contend for the district championship later this week against Artesia, but the Rockets had a time doing it against Portales after losing the opener of a 3-game set on Thursday to Portales. The Rockets bounced the Rams a couple times on Friday, but both by a single run, and both after Goddard established big leads. They won the first game 9-8 after leading 9-3. Cinco Holloway had 3 RBIs for the Rockets in that first one. Second game, Goddard led 5-0. Portales stormed back to score 4 in the 7th, but the Rockets win, and Caleb Seeley was the winning pitcher there, only giving up 1 earned run. So it's Goddard against Artesia Thursday and Friday this week. Meanwhile, Roswell loses a pair to Carlsbad. They'll finish out the schedule against Clovis later this week. Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Elevator manufacturer Otis Worldwide announced Monday it is reevaluating its future in Russia amid the ongoing war in Ukraine. Otis chief executive Judith Marks said the company was disheartened by the conflict's escalation and is exploring alternatives that are in the best interest of all stakeholders. It's going to be another expensive lunch. Investor Warren Buffett will auction off a private meal to raise money for California homeless charity one last time. Buffett, the Berkshire Hathaway CEO, held the lunch auction once a year for 20 years before the pandemic began. It's to raise money for the homeless in San Francisco. The auction has been on hiatus for the past 2 years. Every winning bid since 2008 has topped $1 million. And Buffett has raised nearly $34.5 million for the charity over the years. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Whether you're buying or selling, no one likes to be pressured into making a decision. So when Roswell Ford makes an offer to buy your vehicle, you'll have 7 days to think about it. Roswell Ford is always looking for gently used cars and trucks like yours, and we'll make you a cash offer on the spot. It'll probably be more than the other guys, and we'll give you a week to think about it. That's just the way we do business at the Tailgate Nation. So it only makes sense to see us first when you're ready to sell or to buy. Roswell Ford has southeastern New Mexico's largest inventory of nice pre-owned vehicles. Each one has survived a rigorous 139-point inspection. And Roswell Ford gives you a 3-day money-back guarantee. So if you find something you don't like, you can just bring it back. With the days getting longer and summer driving on the horizon, now's the time to start shopping for your next vehicle. So come see us at Roswell Ford, the tailgate nation, where we'll always give you time to think about it. 9th and Main.
Clyde Lewis and Ground Zero is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Hoping for a diplomatic breakthrough, a ceasefire in Ukraine, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres is in Moscow. He's met with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, who earlier cautioned of the possibility of nuclear war and warned Ukraine against igniting World War III. And as Russian artillery rains down on the Donbas region, the U.S. and other nations promising Ukraine the arms it needs to repel the invaders.
Ukrainian officials say they need more weapons and fast. Germany announced it had cleared the way for the delivery of self-propelled anti-aircraft guns. Meanwhile, 2 months into the conflict, U.S. Secretary of State Lloyd Austin said more help is on the way.
We're here to help Ukraine win the fight against Russia's unjust invasion.
As he convened a meeting with defense officials from dozens of countries at Ramstein Air Base in Germany, Austin sought to reassure Kyiv.
You should know that all of us have your back, and that's why we're here today, to strengthen the arsenal of Ukrainian democracy.
I'm Jennifer King.
Remain in Mexico is on the docket today at the nation's highest court. The Supreme Court will hear arguments over the Trump-era policy requiring asylum seekers to stay south of the border while U.S. immigration courts process their cases. President Biden's plan to lift Title 42 border restrictions has been put on hold by a Louisiana federal judge. The policy makes it easier and quicker to deport illegal aliens on public health grounds. And backers of Title 42 say that ending it would trigger an even greater flood of illegal immigration across the southern border. On Wall Street, so far this morning, heavy losses for the benchmarks. Right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down about 250 points. The NASDAQ Composite Index off 255 points. That's a loss of 2%. And the S&P is off 46 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Are you unhappy with your Medicare supplement plan? Are you paying too much for doctors or drugs? Did you know that you don't need to wait for the annual enrollment period to switch plans? You heard me right. With Chapter, you can apply to switch your Medicare supplement plan whenever you want. Chapter is a free service that helps you make sure you are on the right Medicare plan for your needs. Chapter searches thousands of options to find a plan that best suits your specific healthcare needs and could save you thousands of dollars each year. Because healthcare should be your choice, not a bureaucrat's decision. Whether you're already enrolled in a Medicare supplement plan or you're new to Medicare, call Chapter and make sure your choice is the right choice. It could be the last call you ever need to maximize your Medicare benefits. The service is free, so call today. Call 800-611-9422. 800-611-9422. 800-611-9422.
The first large cruise ship of the season has arrived in Alaska. It marks the start of what industry and tourism officials expect will be a more robust travel year after 2 pandemic-stunted seasons.
The Norwegian cruise line vessel, the Norwegian Bliss, arrived in Juneau on Monday. In 2019, there were 1.3 million cruise ship passengers in Alaska. No large ships sailed to Alaska in 2020 because of the pandemic. Last year, there were about 116,000 passengers on large ships that carry more than 250 people.
That's correspondent Jeremy House. China's capital, Beijing, enforcing mass testing and closing down access to neighborhoods. The fences are going up as authorities try to contain a new outbreak of COVID-19. Announcement of the testing sparked panic buying in the city of 21 million people yesterday. News and analysis at townhall.com. Space tourism, a new frontier for NASA in cooperation with none other than Elon Musk.
3 very rich businessmen back on Earth after a trip to the International Space Station. SpaceX flew them back Monday, wrapping up a 17-day chartered flight that marked the first time NASA opened its space hatches to tourists. Now, the trip cost the trio $55 million apiece. Their stay was supposed to last 8 days, but some dicey weather kept the visitors in orbit almost twice as long as intended. Jason Walker reporting.
Authorities are hunting for a man who kidnapped a 3-month-old baby in the San Francisco Bay Area. Police say the man walked into a home in San Jose around 1 yesterday afternoon and took the infant. Family members say they don't recognize the suspect. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce.
Ooh, a dueling deuce.
A deuce, a double deuce. I like it.
Double deuce.
He came in just a double deuce. I feel so special.
I thought he wanted to weigh in on our conversation.
I know, me too.
I did too.
I left my paper in the other room, but
I have a copy in front of me.
I'm pretty sure I probably did.
Welcome. Yes. I hope you're having a delightful Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going well for you. The weather's nice at the moment.
Yeah.
It actually, enjoy today. It's going to warm up the rest of the week. So if you love 70s, today's your day. Because we'll be in the 90s by like Thursday. So
if you like the 70s, it's going to be groovy today.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Bust out your bell bottoms.
By tomorrow and the rest of the week, it's going to be radical and gnarly.
Yeah. I never got bell bottoms. Like, even when they come kind of resurge into fashion from time to time, I still never. As a pant, they don't look good to me.
I understand the idea of having the sweeping leg, but also the idea of having the tight pants.
Yeah.
So you kind of get the best of both worlds.
You kind of have to be tall to pull it off.
You do. Yeah.
Short people don't look good in bell bottoms.
Short bell bottoms, they're pretty much just flared pants.
Yeah. Looks like shorts that are too big on you.
Well, I never fully understood like Jenko jeans.
Yeah.
But there's a market for them. There was a area for them, demographic. It just wasn't me.
Yeah. I think that's our biggest problem. Is there's fashion trends that get popular, but in all fairness, not all of us should be wearing some of these fashion trends. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, like when you're wearing, say, yoga pants. That's something that certain individuals just don't pull off the yoga pants, and we know better, and we shouldn't do that.
Bicycle shorts.
Bicycle shorts is another one.
There are certain people that can just pull it off.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people.
Yeah, and I think bell bottoms is a tall person's game. If you're short, go straight leg.
Yeah, pretty much. The flare is for those over 6. Well, over 5'7", we'll say.
Okay, so changing topics here because this is way more important to me. Real quick, Bill Williams, Chaves County Manager, going to join us here in just a little bit, give us a recap of the last county commission meeting and talk county business with us. But I saw this on Facebook this morning, and I know we've talked about this issue on the radio before, but I don't know. This I think requires some debate.
This actually presents a new wrinkle in the discussion we've had before.
Well, it says the keys are in the ignition of each of these cars, and they're 80s iconic vehicles. Which one are you taking? And there's 7 vehicles total, 7 of the most iconic vehicles of the 80s.
Sure.
The General Lee, of course. The DeLorean, from Back to the Future. The Ghostbusters hearse. The A-Team van.
Yes.
The Ferrari Testarossa from Miami Vice. The Ferrari 340 I think it was a 340. Which one was that one? To be honest, I don't remember. I got to look. But anyway, the Magnum PI Ferrari.
Yeah.
And the Trans Am kit from Knight Rider. So you got 7. Which car you taking? Now, obviously, everyone wants to drive a Ferrari and everything.
Sure.
So those are things. But 3 of the 7 vehicles have a special skill sets.
I would argue,
and you gotta not want to try those.
yeah.
Right?
Which having the ability to go back in time would be cool. It seems like some of these are more powerful than the others.
Yeah.
Like you'd have the ability to fight the paranormal if you had the Ghostbusters car.
Sure.
Go back in time with the DeLorean. And Kit would be helpful in I'm assuming any situation.
It's kind of like having a smartphone in your car now.
Sure.
But it does have an ejection seat and turbo boost and a couple other cool
caltrops and some other stuff.
Yeah. But the rest of it's kind of like Siri.
I think of those, given the choice between those, I would probably go with the DeLorean just because of the power of it. But you also have to remember, the General Lee has the ability to fly. Not only fly, but land the way that car landed so many times over the course of so many seasons and drive off afterwards. Not, like lose its entire front end like the rest of us would.
Well, unless they didn't edit the scene so well, because if you watch a couple of the Dukes of Hazzard shows and you see it do a jump, if you catch just lightly when you see the car land, sometimes you see the front end start buckling, or you see the whole thing, and then they edit it.
I watched, and this is kind of off topic, but I watched Too Fast, Too Furious the other day randomly. There's a part where they jump this bridge thing. When they come down, there's no way you could tell me that those cars didn't lose every single one of their front ends. Every single one of just the bumper, the whole assembly.
Yeah, I'm sure they spent a lot of money.
They just drive off looking showroom shine. Like, no, you didn't.
Yeah, and I guess I'd have more questions. Like, is this my daily driver, or is this like I just own it? And I have another vehicle for like my daily driver.
I would think that this is just kind of an extra vehicle.
Because if it's my daily driver...
Yeah, if it's my daily, I have to go with van. Because I have a family.
Well, the DeLorean's kind of out because that only goes to other times.
Well, plus you can only get up to 88 miles an hour.
Yeah, once you do, you're gone.
Right.
I mean, sure, you want to drive a Ferrari. That's cool, but...
You know what? And the other thing that needs to be talked about is the DeLorean can fly. Like, can actually fly.
Yeah, and that's what I want to know. Which DeLorean? The one that requires the plutonium... or the one that
requires garbage.
That's got the garbage on the back. Or, well, the other one's not a DeLorean, so then count the train.
We don't need roads.
And, but pound for pound right now, just varying all factors in, it's my daily driver, I own it, special skill set and all that, I got to go Kit.
Yeah.
I got to go Knight Rider.
I feel like it would be the most handy in day-to-day situations.
The car flies. It goes fast. I've seen it. It goes like 200 miles an hour. I saw the Kit Knight Rider. I mean, yeah,
Do you really want a car that's going to question your moral life choices, though? Like, you could be, going along trying to do something, and your car is just like, Michael. Oh, dude.
In a world we live in today. Yeah, I'd be dueling Michaels.
It works.
Michael. Yeah. I got. He doesn't even change the name.
Yeah.
Of course, I'd make him call me Mike. I don't like the Michael. But I would also get rid of that like airplane steering wheel that they get. Remember, it didn't have a full round steering wheel.
Oh, that's right.
It was like that little.
I kind of wanted. It's not safe, but I always kind of wanted the steering wheel like that.
I want a suicide handle.
Right. You know what I want? Always wanted was the kind that just had the two, like the handles on the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun. And not safe.
But to have turbo boost and that like I could talk to it through my watch and the ability to like scan rooms from sitting in the street. That'd be kind of cool.
Kit would be. Kit would be. I think
there's so many more useful tools with Kit.
Van. I feel like van is just it's roomy, but it's durable.
The only
it's armor plated, wasn't it?
Not really. It just was filled with.
Well, yeah.
I think it just had a lot of shag carpet and a bunch of AK-47s. I think that was pretty much
not
all
a bad way. Not a bad way to.
And it was souped
spend
up.
Your time.
As a van goes, it was souped up.
I just for some reason remember it was armor plated because they shot it several times and it.
It may have had a little bit, but I don't know.
Just based on where I live in a certain neighborhood, I feel like that might be useful.
Yeah.
Van full AK-47s.
Well, see, I think Knight Rider's bulletproof already too. So
it could be too.
He took on Goliath and beat it.
It's true.
I'm leaning Knight Rider. Give me Kit.
I'm torn between DeLorean and Knight Rider because I feel like DeLorean gives you more power.
Well, you go in time and you can infinitely change everything, which is amazing. But what happens when I got to go to the bus stop or got to go to the store? I'm
Just
like,
go there less than 88 miles an hour. You'll be fine.
Is that safe?
It's still a car.
I guess. But does it run on regular gas at that point?
Well,
when you're doing your daily driving, does it run on gas?
No, at this point,
does it need the garbage of the plutonium to go back in time? But does it have an internal combustion engine to powertrain it around town?
My
that
assumption
requires just regular petrol.
My assumption is that Doc Brown has figured out how to run it just off the garbage, the whole system, not just the flux capacitor, but also the engine and everything else.
Yeah, see that I got questions about. Yes. But there's a big asterisk next to my DeLorean here. I need more information. But I'm not lying. If I did end up with, say, the Ghostbusters mobile, my whole life's mission will be at that point to follow the Ghost Adventures team around their various film shoots and saboteur all of them. I'm going to go in and start ghostbusting every single one of their things just to make Zach Baggins mad.
You know what?
Because he deserves it. He's annoying.
Boys, we're here at the asylum. The car goes up. God! Darn it, Mike again!
Oh, here
Fire
he
it
is.
up, boys!
Here he is.
Chris checking in saying, I want the car from Christine.
Oh, well, that wasn't an option. But yeah.
What about the urban assault RV from the movie Stripes? Great for Ruidoso traffic.
Yes.
You know what?
These are
Not
all
wrong.
great options, but they weren't in the list I was given.
This wasn't part of our list.
This wasn't part of the list. I was going strictly by someone else's list.
But
yes,
yeah.
the Stripes RV would be a very cool vehicle to have.
I think though I'd have to go with DeLorean.
Yeah.
Number one, because of the power, but also because deep down, I've always wanted a DeLorean. Like,
Sure.
honest to God,
I
I've
get
always
that.
wanted the gull-wing doors, the mini. There's something about the style of a DeLorean I've always liked.
But using that logic, if I went with brand of car, you got to pick. To be honest, I would go with the No.
At that point, you're going Ferrari.
I'm going Miami Vice Ferrari Testarossa. That's what I'd be going with. But Kit and mine. So play at home if you like.
There you go.
It is 8:16. Let's get you up to date with the weather. Weather is brought to you by Bob Reed Pest Control. Bob Reed Pest Control. Protect your home from pests that invade. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today. 575-623-5344.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks pretty good today. Comfortable daytime highs. We'll be staying in the mid-70s with sunshine and just a little bit breezy. Overnight, a few clouds as some moist air begins to come over the mountains. We'll be in the low 50s and windy. Slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm on Wednesday afternoon. Otherwise, it'll be fair with our high in the upper 80s, 90s by Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 52 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 43%. Winds currently out of the southeast at 7 miles per hour. Nice day today. Little breezy this afternoon, but sunny and 75. Winds out of the south 10 to 15 this morning, 15 to 20 for the afternoon. I'd say a beautiful spring day in southeast New Mexico here. That will change. It's going to warm up. Mostly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 50. South winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Wednesday, they're saying there's a chance. I know when I looked at Wednesday's weather yesterday, they said chance of sprinkles. And I was like, dang, that's not even. Why mention that? But now it's a full-on rain chance now. 20%. But still a rain chance. A 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. Partly cloudy. We're back up in the upper 80s tomorrow. 87 for a high with south winds 10 to 15. That 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, not just sprinkles, continues into Wednesday night, mainly before midnight. Mostly clear with an overnight low of 52. South winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, we're going to be back in the mid-90s, sunny, 94, southwest winds 5 to 10 early, 15 to 20 for the afternoon. And looking at the rest of the week, Friday, sunny and 90 for the weekend. For your Saturday, sunny and 87, sunny highs right around 90 on Sunday. So if you love 70s, today's the last day for a little bit. So enjoy it while you have it. All right, it is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a 3-minute break. And then on the other side of the break, Chavez County Manager Bill Williams will join us here. And we'll talk all about the last county commission meeting and stuff happening around the county. So don't go away. We'll be back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Crack the vault and save this month at Roswell Honda with an amazing selection of vehicles priced to move so you don't have to break the bank. Like a 2016 Audi A3 for just $211 a month, a 2014 Chrysler Town & Country for just $181 a month, or a 2010 Honda Odyssey for just $161 a month. Get a 12-pack of soda and a trip to Mexico just for stopping by, a $15 gas gift card with a test drive, and a car detailing kit with purchase. And crack the code for your chance to win cash all month long at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
All right, let's get out the old grocery list here. Let's see, eggs, milk, bread, insurance. I don't want to shop for insurance.
Fortunately, you don't have to. George Gandy Insurance is here for you, shopping and comparing rates from different insurance carriers to save you money, time, and hassle. Visit a George Gandy Insurance location near you today.
We keep you covered. George Gandy Insurance.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you can call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Buying a sewing machine from a big box store or online might seem like a bargain, but in this case, you really do get what you pay for. Just the machine. No lessons, no help with figuring out why it isn't working the way you expect, and no one close to fix it. Buying locally from an authorized retailer may cost a little more, but in the end, it will save you time, money, and aggravation. Come see me, Chris Ann, at So Easy Sewing, 200 East College Boulevard in Roswell, and let me show you why it pays to shop local. So Easy Sewing. You've never had it so easy.
The weather is heating up. Time for new beginnings and time to get a new vehicle for you and your family. Richland Chevy Buick GMC and Richland Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram both have amazing spring deals on both new and pre-owned vehicles. You'll find a huge inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Or better yet, customize your new vehicle. Order it today and build the vehicle of your dreams. Right now, Richland is offering top dollar for your trade. And with the Richland Brand Champion Program, you can ride with confidence knowing you are taken care of long after the sale. Ride for the brand that rides for you. Richland, where service is always job one.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Chaves County Manager Bill Williams back with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Doing well. Sorry we're so late this month.
Well, it's my fault on some of this, too, so I appreciate you working with me in scheduling and everything else. So, but it's kind of a busy time for commission and county right now because we're right in the heart of budget talks and all that, aren't we?
Budget, we had to reschedule our meeting a week early. And then last week, Commissioners Bill Berry and Cavan and myself went to Nebraska for the Stop the 30 by 30 Summit.
Okay.
Working towards raising awareness of what the federal government's opportunities to take land are.
Gotcha.
And the way that they're going about it. And so we spent that week. And then, of course, we're just now getting back to the county commission meeting that happened.
And for folks who don't realize that those kind of fights that you're talking about there, this is kind of supporting like-minded counties and municipalities, and basically there's strength in numbers. So whenever any time you're going after the feds about stuff like this, the more entities on board, the more powerful the cause.
Yeah, the Western way of life is totally different, as you know, from the Eastern way of life.
Yeah.
And there's big population centers back east and tens of millions of people living in a little place, and they love the sound of, let's turn 30% of our nation's lands and waters into areas that are
on paper. It's delightful.
Permanent conservation status. What does that mean? That's one of the questions we ask. So what's conservation mean? And we get an answer like, how would I know? I'm not a biologist.
You're making the rules up.
They just make stuff up.
Yeah.
Well, they don't understand that, New Mexico, Chaves County in particular, is already 60% government-owned land in Chaves County. So where are they going to get this additional? It's not the lands that they already have that they want. It'd be real easy to say, we've already set aside more than 30% of our nation, and we'll change the way we're managing a few things and be okay. No, they don't want that. They want additional lands. And people in big cities, they don't understand. Yeah, go ahead and take all the farm and ranch land that you want.
Sure.
Eventually that catches up with you.
Yeah.
And that's a real serious problem. And of course, we had some really heavy hitters at this summit. We had senators and congressmen and national talk show hosts and lots of different things there.
So some of the power behind the what we deem is what makes common sense here.
Well, if someone went into the city and says, I'm here from the government, I'm here to help. We're going to take 30% of your apartment from you, and you don't know which 30%. We're just going to take the 30% and we're going to set that aside and can't be used anymore. You can't go in there dust. You can't, fix the air conditioner. You can't do anything. Right. It's going to be ours, and you have no say in the matter. Well, that would change people's opinions quite a bit, but they feel like that's absolutely fine to go and do to farmers, ranchers, our way of life out west, where there's open lands. They think, oh, this is great, but it's not great.
And we've actually, I was talking with Drew from the Chaves County Extension Office.
Yes.
Agricultural expert.
Oh, absolutely, and grew up right here.
Yeah. And we were having a conversation a little bit about these lands and all that stuff, and really what he said is the genie's already out of the bottle here. And what we're saying is these lands, these wilderness lands and things, man's already been there. Man's already been a part of it. And now if we leave, we're going to make the ecosystem worse than we started. And what he means by that is, it's like when they want to turn it to wilderness. Well, guess what? Now they're not thinning out forests, which means there's greater chances of wildfires. Which
you think
by
that's
the way,
a bad idea?
And wildlife. I've talked about the owl several times, but that's a perfect example. That the spotted owl, or which owl it is one of the owls that basically they took a piece of its hunting ground and said this is wilderness, and it got overgrown, and now they can't hunt there, and so now they're hanging out in more urban places trying
where
to
they get hit by cars.
Yeah, where they're trying to find food because they can't go to their hunting grounds because they can't see nothing.
Do you think any carbon comes off of a forest fire?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe more than a car might put out, and
so that's what they're not getting. It's like no. I get what you're saying. We don't want to turn these into malls and parking lots. We don't want to either.
Absolutely.
That's not what we're doing. But you know what? As far as grazing in this land and mitigating that kind of stuff and going through and making sure certain types of vegetation aren't there or things like that. All of that's part of the ecosystem, and our role in it is very vital now.
And they manage for certain species, which is kind of crazy. Okay, so we're going to make sure that this species comes back, but that species eats 3 other species.
Yes.
Sure. And then somewhere down the road, they're going to say, this species is bad. Now we've got to take care of it. But it eats the one that you just got off the endangered list.
And to be honest, that's man. Man already did this. When we talk about, we have some, go to Bitter Lake and they talk about the work that's to conservation. You know what half their battle is? They're fighting plant life and things that aren't native to this area because man somehow has dawned and brought things over, and now we've got animals in certain places and vegetation in certain places that ideally that's not where it's supposed to be. Right. And some of it's is taking out the native stuff and all that.
Well,
and so we've got to be there to mitigate that.
And the thing is, we don't need someone to come in and save us hillbillies from ourselves.
Sure.
Those corn pones, they don't understand how to manage their lands and all. Actually, people in the West take very good care of their land. They're good stewards of the lands. They care about the wildlife. I mean, you can't hardly walk down the street and not meet someone who's a hunter or a fisherman, and of course they want to take care of that. A farmer and a rancher has to make sure that the range is in good shape to provide for his cattle, which ultimately provides for his family.
Yeah.
And they're already good stewards, but people in cities don't understand that. They think they need to come and ride in and save the day.
Sure.
As if they could ride a white horse, and fall off. But
they're going to come in here and wave a pen and make everything magic again.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of an offensive thing. And of course, the president doesn't have that ability to condemn lands basically across the U.S. And then they make other statements such as, oh, we're not going to condemn any lands. We're not going to take them by eminent domain.
Mm-hmm.
We're only going to take lands from willing sellers. However, they're doing things like there's one House bill right now, and I don't recall which number it is, $1.3 billion to be used to purchase lands. So they go in and they offer 3 times the price. The poor people, what would you do?
Yeah, someone throws you a big stack of money to walk away. That's
they
tempting.
buy a big connecting piece, and then they go after the other ones. Then your land's no longer good because they also have these buffer zones where if you're near a corridor or conservation
so they're cutting
area,
off resources to
the
neighbors.
lands next door. Oh, I'm sorry, but you can't graze your cattle there anymore because that will affect our corridor, just like the wild and scenic rivers. I mean, there's program after program after program that the government is doing right now. Waters of the U.S., the dry riverbed in your backyard could be a nexus to a navigable waterway down in the Gulf of Mexico. What? Yeah, so if your cow has manure there and it flows into the river and in 5 years that little piece of water going from one dry riverbed to one dry riverbed in the times when it rains could pollute a navigable waterway.
Sure. Well,
by the time it gets there, it's going to be so diluted it wouldn't matter. But now you can't graze your cattle there because that footprint will hold water, and there's just
explain to me how that could impact the water, but that city that's 100 miles away that's tapped right into the same streams and aquifers via some other river channels not doing any different. That makes no sense to me.
Right.
Do you think that poop that came from over here is going to be much worse than the thousands of whatever else of gallons of stuff you sent down the river from the city?
From a dry riverbed that actually will never get there.
Exactly. Yeah, we'd have to have, I guess, an ice age or something for it.
But with the waters of the U.S., there's a big push to have the EPA regulate everything having to do with the waterway. So every time it rains, you would have to get a 404 permit. I've got a dry riverbed in my backyard, literally a dry riverbed, the South Spring River. So every time it rains, I would have to get a 404 permit from the government so they can manage that and make sure that whatever ran off in there didn't pollute anything the 5 years from now when that little piece of manure got all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. It's going to be gone by the time it gets there anyway. But we're going to help you manage this. We know you don't have time to put in a permit every single time it rains. So tell you what, we'll just take over that section of river and we'll manage it the way it is. Well, then all of a sudden you can't have your cows anywhere near there. What are your kids doing out here running around? It's just one thing after another. We're here to help, and that's not helpful. The wild and scenic rivers, there's a push right now to, they did the rivers. They said, well, we own these rivers. They're going through federal lands or whatever, and so we're going to call them wild and scenic rivers. But now they're asking for a buffer zone on either side of the river, which is take. Oh, no, we're not taking anyone's land. It's still their private property. Yes, but they can't manage it.
Sure,
they can't use it the way that they want it because it is now set aside because it's a buffer next to it.
But they get to pay taxes on it.
But they get to pay taxes on it, which, by the way, the federal government, when they take over this stuff, they don't pay taxes or they pay a very reduced rate.
Yeah.
So there are so many problems with the 30 by 30, and we went and heard a lot of people with CRP lands, conservation reserve programs, coming in and saying, my father did this 30 years ago, and if we had known that that was going to affect everything else, we would have never done it. He would have never done that. It caused the rest of our ranch to be lost because of the hidden stuff in the documents. And there's a big push too. Conservation lands, once they're conservation lands, it's in perpetuity. And so there's a lot of push to say, okay, let's limit that because things that happened in 1970, 1950, our world has changed a lot.
Sure.
And if you put something in a permanent status, you don't know what the next 100 years is going to bring.
Absolutely.
So they are trying now to minimize those so that they don't run in perpetuity, that there is, it runs for 30 years, runs for 50 years, whatever. But at some point that land's going to go back, possibly back to a conservation reserve or to some other productive use, depending on what it is. But if we set aside 30% of our lands and waters in the U.S., worldwide actually is what they're after, that's a problem. And then the true goal is the half Earth, 50% of the lands and waters. And you can look all this stuff up. You might think I'm a conspiracy theorist, but all this stuff is true. Agenda 21, look that one up if you want some stuff that started many years ago. And
we don't need that. We don't need that. And is it really going to help global warming to put something in permanent conservation status, or can you even tell me what that means?
Sure.
You know, if it's all like wild forests that are overgrown and burning, how is that going to help anything?
Well,
So-
and if you're looking at it, you know, these places aren't the problem areas to begin with. You know what I mean? You're putting Band-Aids on things that aren't bleeding. That's what, you know,
Right.
that's what doesn't make sense. It's like, okay, I get you want to make it, but to be honest, you want to really working our environment. Let our oil companies and everybody drill here, because guess what? They're under the regulations that we're all talking about. Go to China, go to Russia, the places where they want us to buy oil, and ask them how they're doing about the environment while they're pulling that oil out.
Right.
And I guarantee it's nowhere near what regulations.
Well, in
and
this
stuff are
30 by
happening here.
30 stuff, you know, there's a big push for international agencies to manage and run these. I thought it was going to be closed off. And you know, you can't have it both ways.
Sure.
There are companies actually vying for the management of these so-called closed environmental protection areas. Well, if they're closed and you're not going to do anything to them, who needs to manage it? So it all comes down to the money, like it always does. And I encourage everyone that's listening to look up 30 by 30, 30 by 30 land grab, however you want. You're going to see a lot of biased stuff. We just went to Lincoln, Nebraska, and had a deal. They had trucks running around outside that liars are coming to Nebraska to take away our rights to do this and that and all kinds of things. You'll read many articles that are slanted one way, but you'll also find a few that aren't. And you'll find out what's truly going on. You'll find out that Senator Kramer came and spoke to us about it. He's doing the Stop 30 by 30 termination in the Senate. Lauren Boebert from Colorado, she came and spoke from the representative side, U.S. representative side. She's presenting the Stop the 30 by 30 termination, or 30 by 30 termination act in the House. We had Governor Pete Ricketts, the first governor to come on board and say, this is a bad idea, let's do it. And we now have, I think it's 18 governors, Western state governors that are against this, have come out against it. Do they advertise that? No, they advertise the 3 that have come out all for it.
Sure.
And you know, it's crazy. They make out like, oh, everybody's overwhelmingly in support of this, except for a few of these eccentrics that are, you know, anti-government. And everyone that was there was very pro-government. We all believe in America, and we believe in America the way it should be, and not overrun by bureaucrats.
Unfortunately, we live in that world now where people are trained to think. You know, if you slightly think that the government is doing something that's not right, and you speak out about it, you're a problem.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's the
and
world
what's
we
really
live in now.
interesting is the attacks made by the left, the articles that are written. You can tell which ones are based on fact. There's a few out there that present both sides very equally and balanced, which is very unusual these days. Most of the ones are attacking people. They're liars, but there's no proof of any of it. And then the other articles are saying, here's where we stand and here's why. Here's the facts behind it.
Yep.
And they say, you didn't get the right facts, you're lying. It's like, come on, read these articles. I encourage everyone, look it up for yourself and see if you believe whether or not we need to actually conserve 30% of our lands and waters. And like I say, it's not that anyone's against protecting and doing what we can to make things better within our nation and within our world, but it's got to stop somewhere.
Sure.
And if people need to give, maybe it's the people back east and the people out west who've been tapped out. If they had to give to the extent that we have out west, they wouldn't be so gung ho.
And we in the middle have to really be more cognizant of what extreme thinkers are telling us, and that's the problem. And it's on both sides, right. Left. I mean, that's the problem. Is we've had. You know, and maybe this is the technology world, you know, now that we have social media and literally you can communicate with anybody in the matter of seconds in this world nowadays.
Right.
Which is good and bad. And to be honest, we've had these extreme voices throughout history. They just didn't have a platform that could get to everybody. And now they do. And I really think they're swaying people with these extreme things on both sides. And so it's either you're for us or against this mentality right now because of that. Right. And so now legislation like this that really needs good debate, talk, you know what I'm saying? We need to get people look, I understand what they're trying to do. and in some ways, and that's what they're okay. What can we do both? Right. Can we do what you're saying and say, yeah, okay, we do need to be better stewards of our land, okay, but we don't need to lock it all down and throw everybody out to do that.
Right.
And so, but that's the extreme thinkers. They're saying you either need to lock it down or you're against it and you don't for climate, and that's not what's going on here.
Right. I mean, there's a balance to everything, and you know, I believe that we're actually not that far off from the way things maybe should be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, probably need some areas. There are places with 97% federal lands in their county, or lands that are not in private ownership.
Sure.
And how do they exist? You know, they have real trouble. We heard from a lot of people with that. Some areas they may need some more conservation.
Yeah.
But I tend to believe that probably more of that is back east than it is out west. But certainly out west, we have given till it hurts, and agriculture and the businesses that we have, oil and gas. You know, you cannot shut down oil and gas. Where are they going to get the rubber tires for the electric cars if we shut down oil and gas? You know, just some common sense things like that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go so far into that.
Well, and I think this is where politics is made so confusing. And I think yesterday's a great example of it, because for those that haven't heard, Elon Musk finally made his bid purchase Twitter yesterday, and the left world's going crazy because they're conflicted. They're ready to ban Twitter, which is ironically funny because Elon Musk wants to do the opposite of that if Trump gets on there. But at the same time, they're all like, but he sells electric cars. And so the liberals are fighting with themselves saying ban Elon Musk, and everyone's like, well, he did help us with electric cars. So it's funny to watch people that are so dyed-in-the-wool on making their stupid arguments and sharing their lib of TikTok talks and all that stuff. And now they're at a point where they can't pick which part of their stupid argument do they need to side for. It's like, well, and at the end of the day, Elon Musk, and I don't care what your opinion is in one way or another, but everything I've heard from that man since he's talked about buying Twitter is saying, no, I want everybody on board. I don't want, that's the whole point, free speech. Yeah. And he goes, would I bring Trump back? Yes. And I bring back the clowns that are against him too, because this is what I want it for. And now everyone's saying free speech is gone. And it's like, are you not listening to what he says? He's doing the opposite of what you're saying he's doing with Twitter. And they're all ready to, the same thing is says, if so-and-so does this, I'm leaving this country. And everyone's doing that.
Oh, yeah. And how many of them have left the country?
Yeah,
every time. I'll leave the country. Well, goodbye. Let me buy the ticket. Let me escort you out.
There's
they never leave.
There's many countries on this planet that probably ideally line right up with your politics.
And they'll move there and they'll start complaining about what they're doing there. Yeah. Just like the people that come from out of state to Chaves County, come here, then they want to change us.
Yeah.
We've been here a long time. We know what we need. We know what makes this community work, and we appreciate it. Not that we don't invite other people here, but assimilate. Don't change us.
You don't go to someone's house and start telling them that they change the decor and change everything.
Well, I hate this carpet. Get it out of here.
Yeah, that's what people are doing. It's like, well, it's my house. You go and change your carpet, knock yourself out. This is my house.
Right.
But anyway,
Okay, back to the county commission.
Yeah, let's talk county commission meeting. Let's get some highlights from that.
I mean, thank you so much for letting me talk, and I hope that maybe we can come back and talk some more about the 30 by 30. And like I say, I just really encourage people to look it up on your own. You'll spot right away where the issues are.
Educate yourself.
You can really be educated. There's some amazingly intelligent people out there that understand this much better than I do. So we had our county commission meeting on April the 14th, like I say, a week early. And then, of course, we couldn't come in last week, so we're here this week. First thing we had was we have our usual presentations. The Chamber of Commerce, the EDC comes in. Mike Spiritu comes in and talks to us. Mike wasn't there this time, but we did have the Chamber of Commerce came in and talked to us. We talked about the Rise with Roswell breakfast, which was a great success.
Had a big success there.
And this time they had a comedian, Tim Moffat was his name. And he was hilarious. He talked about agricultural comedian. So if you can imagine the things that are funny on a farm or to a rancher or a farmer, he was your guy. He really hit the nail on the head.
A lot of farming inside jokes there.
Very, very good stuff. And it was a twist from the way we normally do things, or the way they normally do things with the Rise with Roswell.
Yeah.
Kind of a little different way of doing it, and it was great. It was a huge success. They did a great job.
Yeah.
tell them thanks again for all the great work you're doing.
Tip a cap to the Chamber of Staff for pulling that off.
They're great. They really are.
Yep.
We had a presentation from the USDA, APHIS, Animal Damage Control.
Okay.
Chaves County supports them every year, and around budget time, we like to get them in there, the leaders, and have them come in and say, can you give us an update what's been going on?
Yeah.
As it turns out, their local office kind of merged, I think, with their Albuquerque office. So they actually drove down from Albuquerque to tell us what's going on. We still have our local people that work here, that do all the work on the ground. And,
a lot of the decisions come out of Albuquerque.
But the management comes from up there, the administrative portion of it. But, they'll do anything from, take care of if you have a coyote problem, if you have a gopher problem, skunks, whatever.
They're kind of a catch-all for all that.
You give them a call, they'll find a way to correct whatever animal damage problem you might have. Wild hogs, that's still an issue. And some
Those
places
feral
it's
pigs,
huge, but feral pigs are
Are they still getting in the helicopters and everything and doing some of that
They do a lot of
that?
stuff through helicopter use. But anyway, they came and gave us an
update,
overview and an update on that. And we really appreciate all the work that they do. The local guys, like say they are all in. We get calls all the time. I want to just thank you guys for the guys you sent out to get the gophers at my house. It's like, we didn't send them out, but thank you. And we'll make sure we'll make sure they get and we do support them monetarily. And that's why we talk to them at budget.
Sure. Well, and that's just it. Anytime the county gives money to support an entity, a profit, nonprofit, whatever organization, really one of the only string is that you come back and report on what you're doing with that money, because they want to make sure that you're being a good steward. At the end of the day, that's one of the main charges of your county commission, is making sure that they're good stewards of the taxpayer money. And so this is part of that check and balance, to make sure that, all right, we're giving you money, what are you doing with it? And that's kind of the report that they get every, year on that.
Yeah, at least once a year.
Yeah.
We really strive to make sure at least once a year. Most entities that we deal with come on a regular basis and give us updates and let us know what's going on. We had a few proclamations. We had 4 proclamations. We had Character Counts proclamation, because they were getting ready to do the
Character Counts week last week.
Honor the badge and everything, that's taken place.
Teachers of character, all that stuff. Yeah.
Character Counts, what a great deal.
A great event,
to bring to awareness all the good people that are in our community, rather than the bad stuff that you always hear time and time again. This is about the good people and the good things people are doing.
That silent majority of great qualified people that just do their job and help people day in and day out.
And we're honored to be able to provide a proclamation for them every week. And to, they have some events at the Chaves County Commission chambers. And so we're glad to be a part of that, and want to thank them for all their tireless work.
Yeah.
It doesn't just happen during Character Counts week. I mean, they do it year round.
They
Firefighters, the law enforcement, all of them are great. So
we give them a little special recognition, and each of the first responding entities in our county get a chance to separate the ones that are the cream of the crop from their own, and we recognize those folks, and that's what.
And
that's
you
all
gave
about.
me a perfect segue when you said first responding.
Yeah.
So the Pecos Valley Regional Communication Center, they're public safety telecommunicators, and Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. That's harder to say than you think it is.
Is that just dispatch at the end of the day? Is that the fancy word for dispatch?
April the 10th to the 16th was Public Safety Telecommunicators Week.
Okay.
And so we did a proclamation honoring them and thanking them for all the hard work that they do. The city did a very similar thing for them. People brought pizza by to them, just a pat on the back and an attaboy, you're doing a great job.
They are. They're really the calming voice in the storm for many people. That's what they do. And
man, it's amazing what they do and know, and the way their system has progressed through the years. If someone calls up and they're having a baby, they can type that into their console or whatever, and it gives instructions just in case someone needs to tell someone how to deliver a baby over the phone.
Yeah, because
they've got the information.
Initially, they're the triage. They're the first line of defense when it comes to an emergency situation, and so sometimes they've got to do first aid or advise on that phone while first responders get on the scene, and then while they're doing all that, they're filling in the first responders on the that are approaching every piece of information they can. So when they get there, they're not flying blind. They are knowing exactly what's going on, and they can get right in and do what needs to be done.
And they do that in multiple languages.
Yeah.
Here we have a license for the Spanish language. So someone, because that comes up pretty regularly. But like in California, for instance, they might have Vietnamese, and they would have someone on staff that if someone called and needed help in that language, they would be able to read and assist in that language. Here we have Spanish and, of course, English. So
yeah, the role of the dispatcher, they really have to be like the most sound-minded people.
And cool and calm and collected. I could never do it. I'd be so... Well, you hear me get excited just talking about 30 by 30.
Well,
Can you imagine if it was an emergency?
Yeah, and so, yes, you're right. It is a skill set that not all humans can do, and we are very appreciative of the work the dispatch folks do day in and day out. It really is a thankless job, but pretty much on a given day, they're responsible for saving a life. Even in their regular course of the day, they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just old hat to them. What'd you do this week? I saved a few people.
It's
hang my cape up, would you? That's kind of cool.
Fixed a couple people that were dealing with choking hazards. We had stopped a robbery in progress. We did all that happened all in one week. It's crazy. So
it's amazing stuff. We also had Motorcycle Awareness Week, proclamation for that.
Okay.
And one that I'm real happy about and real excited is County Employee Month. And County Employee Month is the month of April. And we took it one step further, and we decided we were going to do County Employee Day and honor the county employees on this Thursday, April the 28th.
Okay.
So we're going to close for a little longer at lunchtime and
have a little
provide lunch,
little shindig
for all the people. So we'll close from about 11 to 1:30, something like that.
So if you got county businesses Thursday,
do it a little early, a little later.
Yeah.
Please bear
lunch.
with us. We apologize if you come from out of town, but go have a hamburger or something and come back and
as we're
meet our great staff. I mean, we've got that's what makes our county work so well is the good staff, all the different areas.
Good. Well,
hopefully they come together and work.
Hopefully, some of the law enforcement, road crews, and the folks that are they work 24/7. Hopefully, they're able to take off a little time during that time and
just
come
get a
in
few
and
minutes
celebrate.
And have a little bit of company fun. Kind of. With everyone else. So we got in after the proclamations. We went into some public hearings. We had 2 public hearings for community solar. And, that's different than commercial solar, of course. And we also had a public hearing regarding selling industrial revenue bonds for the Next Era Solar, which is out on Pine Lodge. They're adding an additional 30 megawatt, which will make that 170 megawatt total. The community solar, however, those are voted on both through planning and zoning or the ETZ, depending on where they're located at. And because they usually require a special use permit because they're going into an area that's not zoned for solar.
Gotcha.
And so there were 2 that were out in the East Grand Plains area, and they were actually voted down because the neighbors came out and said, we don't really feel like that fits with what should be out here.
Okay.
And both the Planning and Zoning Commission, who voted it down, and the commissioners listened to what everyone had to say and had to do their job. It's never easy. You don't want to make those decisions sometimes, but it's difficult. And when the neighbors come out in force to say this is what we want, they do listen and they have to do that. So did that. We had the annual road hearing. We only had 7 roads this year. We have 3.
So light fare for this
Very
year.
light. We have 3 little short roads right near Roswell that people asked to vacate. And we had 4 roads out at Buena Vita that they asked the county to take over.
Okay.
Or Buena Vita asked for 3 of them, and one of the people that
so
live
it's a
there
net
asked
zero
outside.
if both work, then it's a net zero on street or miles gained or lost. So.
And then actually yesterday, because first thing we do, and we've talked about this before, is we take the applications in January, February. Then we appoint the freeholders. The freeholders go out, look at the roads, and make their recommendation. It goes back to the county commissioner. This is what the freeholders said about these roads. Some roads are disqualified right off the bat, depending on what the freeholders say.
Gotcha.
So this year, all the roads went through, goes to the commissioners. They have their public hearing. People can come up and say, I'm for it, I'm against it. And then the commissioners themselves go out and look at the roads. They did that yesterday.
Okay.
And it only took about 2 hours. It was very unusual. Some years we go from the far corners of the county to the far corners of the county, and it takes all day.
Sure.
And
County's a lot bigger than people think, and you don't realize it till you drive it.
and we have to have 3 vehicles every time we take them because we cannot have a quorum when they stop and get
yeah.
out, because it's actually a meeting. We have to advertise it as a public hearing, a
Yeah.
public meeting. So we advertise it and we put approximate times they're going to arrive at each site. So if anyone wants to be there when all 5 of them get together, then they're in session, and then they basically recess as they get in their 3 vehicles, drive 100 miles to the next site, whatever. They all get out and meet. So they did that yesterday, and so next week or next month they will have their final decisions on the road here.
Gotcha.
And stuff. So
Just out of curiosity, well, we really don't have time, but I'm just curious, like, once it gets to that point, how often does it turn? Like usually if it's to that point, the legwork's been done, and how often does a road change from a decision being changed from it becoming a road or whatever, when the commission, does the commission often shoot it down, or generally most of the time that all that logistics been worked out, and so for the commissions it's mostly signing off? Or I was just curious.
Most of the time, if it's a status change for road, if someone wants their private road converted to a county road, the commissioners will listen. They say, here's the rules. If you follow these rules, we'll happily take it on. It's a non-county maintained road, same thing. Here's what you're going to have to do to bring it up to standards. We'll happily do it. But when it comes to road vacations, now that's different, because there are so many criteria there and so many people. It's a totally different thing.
So adding a road is pretty formality. As long as you meet the things. But
it can be
the
pretty
other way is where it gets in the weeds.
If you want to vacate a road, because first of all, there are certain types of roads you can't vacate. If it's primary access to public lands, it cannot be vacated because we have to provide access to the public lands. If it's a farm and market road, if it's a dedicated school bus road, which most of our roads are not dedicated to school bus anymore like they used to be back years ago.
Gotcha.
But anyway, there's several criteria, and they can't do that. And sometimes it's kind of a gray area. Now, does this provide primary access to public lands, or is it just an additional access? And so then they have to weigh all that out, and that can get really contentious. And but anyway, they do a good job. They really do take everything into consideration.
Very thorough about
That's why the freeholders are so important, because they're a neutral third party that comes in and says, we think this.
They don't have a dog in the fight. They can see it from afar.
Could be heard, and then it goes from there. But anyway, we thank the freeholders for their part doing that and helping, and the commissioners. It's never an easy job, but it is their job, so they do it. So quickly, I guess.
Real quick. We got about. Well, we got less than a minute, really.
Okay. Well, Chaves County appreciates all that you do for us, and we thank you for that. We're going to have some stuff happening at the courthouse. They've got the, what is this one coming? The Cinco de Mayo's coming up next weekend.
Yeah, the 7th, I believe.
The 6th, 7th, and 8th,
maybe.
I
believe it's that weekend.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
On the 7th, there's a car show in the parking lot on Virginia Street. The Pecos Valley Vintage Car Club is going to do their car show in conjunction with the Cinco de Mayo. You'll have to come in down either Virginia or 6th or
just follow the
3rd
signs.
Street. Yeah, but get in there and go see all the cars over there. They've done that for years on Mother's Day weekend, and it's been 46 years actually that they've been having that car show. So that's
It'll be a part
thing.
of history there.
I don't see anything that really has to be said, so I'm going to stop and
quit while you're ahead, huh?
and thanks to all the people that show up to our meetings. That we really appreciate it when the public comes out.
Absolutely.
Whether it's because they have something of interest or they're just interested in finding out. But the last commission meeting was one of those where we had several people come in to express their opinions and concerns. We also have the thing at the end where citizens can make statements. No action will be taken, but Rita Kane Dorhofer comes up almost every time and talks about all the good that Keep Chaves County Beautiful does, and kind of gives us an update on the backside. We appreciate all the involvement of people at the county commission meetings.
It's hard for the county commission to do their job without the input from the citizens they represent.
Right, and
to do that,
we've got good commissioners.
Yeah,
thank you.
Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate the visit as always, and we look forward to our next one here down the road.
Yes, thank you.
It is 8:58. Let's do a quick break before news. Don't go away.
There's nothing like a good night's sleep. But if your old, worn-out mattress is keeping you up at night, then hurry to Glenn's Furniture and change your life. Glenn's carries Serta, the finest mattress in the world. Whether you prefer a traditional inner spring, a modern memory foam, or a hybrid that combines the best of both, Glenn's has the right size and right firmness in stock, specially priced and ready for free delivery. So don't lay awake another night. Head for Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, making sweet dreams since 1953.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell. The weather is heating up. Time for new beginnings and time to get a new vehicle for you and your family. Richland Chevy Buick GMC and Richland Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram both have amazing spring deals on both new and pre-owned vehicles. You'll find a huge inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Or better yet, customize your new vehicle. Order it today and build the vehicle of your dreams. Right now, Richland is offering top dollar for your trade. And with the Richland Brand Champion Program, you can ride with confidence knowing you are taken care of long after the sale. Ride for the brand that rides for you. Richland, where service is always job one.
Bill Cunningham is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov raising the specter of the Ukraine war going nuclear and is warning Ukraine against provoking World War III. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba says his country cannot defeat the Russians without more help from the West.
As long as Russian soldier puts food on Ukrainian soil, nothing is enough. And I want to be straight on it. We appreciate everything that has been done, including by the United States. We understand that for some, what has been done is already a revolution. But this is not enough as long as the war continues.
The U.S. meeting with more than 40 other Ukrainian allies in Germany, promising more weapons for Ukraine. Louisiana federal judge temporarily blocking President Biden from ending Trump-era Title 42 border restrictions amid a lawsuit by a couple dozen states to keep Title 42 in place. The Biden administration wants to end the Trump Remain in Mexico policy, keeping asylum seekers south of the border while their cases are processed in the U.S. The Supreme Court today has taken up the case with oral arguments. Man who refers to free speech as the bedrock of a functioning democracy is buying Twitter. Tesla CEO Elon Musk shelling out roughly $44 billion. Tech analyst Dan Ives says that where Twitter goes from here is anyone's guess.
Does it change it to a subscription platform? Freedom of speech, has it changed Twitter? I think more questions than answers at this point.
Former President Trump, who was banned from Twitter after the U.S. Capitol riot, indicates that he has no plans to return to the platform. Sharp losses on Wall Street this hour. The Dow down 458 points. The Nasdaq is off 377 for a loss of almost 3%. The S&P down 77. Townhall.com.
I'm about to compare a pepper shaker to a cash-out refinance. Hang with me. You know when you're at a restaurant and they ask, would you like some fresh ground pepper? And then they crank that giant tube, but almost nothing comes out? For me, only a certain amount of time is socially acceptable to wait. I know that getting that pepper out might make my life better, but it just seems too impossible. And that's what we hear people say about the cash-out refinance. People realize that the value of their home has gone up like hot pepper the last few years, leaving all this extra money sitting inside their home. But is it too hard to get out? It's Ryan from United Faith Mortgage. If you're interested in cashing out the extra pepper in your home, we're good at doing all the work while you just sit back and relax. And often, your mortgage payment and years in the loan will stay the same. If you'd like to hear about your options,
we are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Missiles and his mouth. Two things that North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un has been shooting off of late.
Dressed in a white military ceremonial coat and surrounded by powerful missiles, Kim delivered the remarks at a parade marking 90 years of the North Korean Army. According to state media, Kim says he will continue to pressure the United States and its allies and threatens to use nuclear weapons if provoked. This comes as South Korean President-elect Yoon Suk-yeol gets ready to take office next month. Yoon has strongly criticized President Moon's response to North Korean threats and vows to strengthen their defenses and relations with the West. I'm Naomi Shannon.
China's capital, Beijing, is enforcing mass testing, also closing down access to neighborhoods as authorities try to contain a new COVID outbreak. Announcement of the testing had sparked panic buying in the city of 21 million yesterday. Today, though, things calmer. News and analysis at townhall.com. Lawmakers returning to Washington this week after a 2-week break. They're facing questions over the future of $10 billion being sought by the administration to combat the COVID pandemic.
Additional funding was expected to pass before the break, but was held up over the GOP's demand for Democrats to put a vote on the floor concerning the future of Title 42, the Trump-era policy that blocks migrants from seeking asylum. However, Democratic leaders were hesitant to make the move, given that a number of senators at the time had criticized the administration's decision to end the program in late May. That problem has only grown in the meantime as vulnerable Senate incumbents, traditional administration allies, and even key committee chairmen have raised issues with the decision. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
New home sales tumbled last month, dropping 8.6% according to the government. Sales of new houses falling to an annual rate of 763,000. So on Wall Street, the Dow down 466 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Crazy Miernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Thank you, Sean. He's off. He's doing twofers on his show this morning, so he's got to get over there and get his twofers going. Not his teeth. Two for Tuesday. He's on that today. So he's a busy man over there on his show. Tune in. If you're tired of listening to me, go check out Sean and listen to what he's doing, jamming on over there at 92.9 The Brand. But happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope you're having a delightful day thus far. Hope it's going well. Weather-wise, I kind of dig today, but that's just me. I love 75 and sunny. It's going to be a little breezy this afternoon. I'd much rather have this than the 90s we're going to get later this week. But I know I'm not from here, so my pleasantries are different. I know people that are born and raised here, they're like, I ain't touching outdoor unless it's 80. You know what I mean? I get you. But I disagree with you respectfully, of course.
To quote Tom Hanks' son, the great Chet Hayes.
Oh, okay.
Respectfully.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah, exactly.
Anyways.
Well, happy Tuesday.
Yes, welcome to it. It's delightful out. I quite like the nippiness.
I do. I like a spring.
Mm-hmm.
I hate going from winter to summer. I like a spring, and today's it.
Yeah.
Speaking of spring, baseball. It's very much part of spring.
It is indeed.
Would like to put this on people's radars coming up later in May, which is just around the corner. literally.
Yes, it does.
Tobosa is having their first annual 7th inning stretch.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, what is that? They're actually going to...
they're going to stretch you out.
Yeah. Actually, they're going to...
have dudes on side that are actually going to stretch you in all the important places.
Yeah. They're actually going to swing by as Tobosa crashes the Roswell Invaders for a party for family fun. It's going to be May... Ooh. There you go. A rock version of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, if you will. Let me hear you. May 27th from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. out on the Chaves County Courthouse lawn. Come on out, and they're going to have, if you'd like to be a vendor or if you'd like to put up an art and craft booth or be a part of it, you can reach out to 575-624-1025. or 575-416-2209. But love to have folks come on out anytime out in the courthouse lawn, May 27th between 8 and 8. Come meet the Invaders. Come support Tobosa's first annual 7th inning stretch. So if you want to also, while you're out there, learn more about all the services available through the Tobosa umbrella, whether it's for special needs for adults, children, their Los Pasitos
Early Intervention, Little Steps Learning Center, as well as the Tobosa parent company.
Yeah, exactly. All of that, you can learn all about that at the event. And we'll talk more about it as we get closer. But just want to put it on your radar. May 27th, all day, 8 to 8 at the Chaves County Courthouse lawn. Come out and be a part of Tobosa's first annual 7th inning stretch.
Come on out and meet your Roswell Invaders.
And yes, whole time I've got the Will Ferrell, Harry Carey version in my head. The whole time I'm like, hey, hey everybody. Let me hear you.
I really wish that I understood sports better.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I probably could if I paid attention, but just because it always seems like sports casting is so much fun. Low and outside to Gutierrez. It's like it just seems like it's fun.
Well, some sports require more than others, and baseball is a very slow sport. Let's just face it. It's not fast-paced like football or basketball or hockey or any other sport. So for when one calls a baseball game, it's a little different than calling, say, a football or a hockey game. Those you can pretty much rely on the action and keep you going. But baseball, there's a lot of filler time.
A lot of color.
So those guys have to be more colorful, and so you hear things like the 7th inning stretch, and I mean, other sports do similar type things, but baseball has a lot more time for that kind of
it's
stuff.
a lot more open.
Yeah. So they spend a lot more time doing kissing cams and, what's the guy out in the outfield doing there with those peanuts?
Tom, I haven't seen a crowd like this in 13 years of calling local games for our Hawk Jays.
Yeah.
Jayhawk, I don't know.
And then a lot of, that's one of the few sports that does have the tradition of playing the game in the middle of the afternoon sometimes. We're football, we're like, no, prime time, baby. We're going to be on Sunday and we're going to be on night every night. And when we're not showing you Big Brother, we're going to be showing you football, Where baseball's like, nah, we're going to do a game at 1 in the afternoon.
Sure.
We don't care that you're at work. We're going to do it anyway.
What's that? Noon on a Tuesday? Sure, why not?
So you get that a little bit more, and then you get your bleacher bums and all that good stuff. But
those are the games, though, that's
why it makes it a pastime.
If I was just reading a thing, it's like for a family of 4 to go to an average baseball game, it costs like $250.
Yeah, now it's a lot.
So if you want to go, a really good time to go is like noon on a Tuesday to Wrigley. I mean, that's when you're going to get the discounts.
And that's how baseball used to be the product to sell. It's like, you're paying hundreds of dollars to go see football, but guess what? You want to go see a Cubs game on a Tuesday afternoon, you can pay for $13, get the cheap seats, and sit there and watch a game. And I mean, baseball had the expensive, but that was kind of the thing. You could always get a ticket for the cheap seats. And now that's not true. But back in the day, that
gone are the days of kids wandering up to Wrigley with their milk money.
Yeah, exactly.
Picking up, getting the ticket in.
Yeah, that kind of stuff going away.
The entirety of the movie Rookie of the Year couldn't work nowadays.
Word, yo.
Right? Poor Henry Roland Gardner would never been discovered.
Yeah. So, Rowan Barker.
Yeah. What was it? Herfendorfer.
Yeah.
Give him the high, hard, stinky cheddar. I love that movie. Like, I love that movie probably more than most people love their favorite movie. It's legitimately one of my, guilty pleasures.
Well, good.
To go back and just watch Rookie of the Year.
It's a funny movie. I haven't seen it in a couple years. But
it's great. It's Gary Busey at his most sane.
Yeah.
And even in this movie, he was still a little off. But I would say it's probably his most sane, at least comedic role.
Yeah, comedic. Because I would argue the first Under Siege on the Navy ship.
Yeah, that was also pre almost death and cocaine fling. I feel like.
Was that pre all that? I don't know.
Well, let's see. When did Under Siege come out? That was the 80s, right?
Yeah.
Because it was like late 80s, early 90s was real coke binge.
Okay, so maybe that was post that. And then of course his buddy Holly, which was way before that. So he was not tarnished by the accident after that.
92 is also, yeah, I guess. Well, I don't know. Maybe he had his faculties about him. Still, he just seemed like, as far as like the Busey that I knew, was like black as a kid. Was like Black Sheep and Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't like that. It was a very serious role for him. It's Under Siege, so I mean it's an action. Come on. Right.
Speaking of Steven Seagal, I watched a thing yesterday. He's responsible for what most of the cast at the time had said was the worst episode of SNL of all time.
That doesn't surprise me.
He was the host, and he refused to go along with any of the jokes that were poking fun at him. Basically every sketch he was in ended with him just beating up the character that he was acting across from whatever. There were no laughs. It just didn't hit, and it was a terrible episode.
And that's why Steven Seagal isn't finally remembered today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Van Damme, we love him.
Oh yeah.
Beloved. All he's up there. Oh, would you like me to spread my legs and do the splits again?
Splits between two semi trucks and ride?
Sure,
these
no
things?
problem. Whereas Steven Seagal is just getting fatter and more ridiculous. So
yeah, pretty much.
I'm a cop. Sure you are, cheese boy.
Yeah, Steven Seagal has basically become a parody of himself.
He should be the spokesboy for Pillsbury, not a law enforcement official.
I was feeling myself, and then they called me Steven Saboom Boom. The representation of Steven Seagal on South Park, maybe my favorite thing ever.
And pound for pound, the poorest karate. Pound for pound, the poorest karate. I mean, you watch Steven Seagal fights and watch Van Damme and these guys. Steven Seagal just sat there and did this a lot.
Yeah.
And people kind of ran into that. Where Jean-Claude's doing splits and flying around the room
all over the place, yeah.
Where Steven Seagal just literally stood in one spot, waved his arms around, and watched people feed to him as he knocked them out while spinning his arms around.
Yeah.
That's Steven Seagal.
Yeah, octopus fighting.
Yeah, he's a hot mess.
The octopus of the kung fu world.
He's a punching bag that punches back. That's all he is. I got to move? Hold on.
He's thicker than a Snicker now.
Hold on, I got to let some cheese out first. Anyway, here's what we got on tap for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a few. Then we're going to play our interview we had with Juanita Jennings, Public Affairs Director for the City of Roswell last Thursday, talking about Brew at the Zoo, the butterfly garden. I want to say exhibit. It's like that exhibit, Butterfly Garden.
Yes.
And a lot of other stuff, too. So we'll play that for you here in just a few minutes. Later on, we'll get you up to date with the news of the local variety, along with your Town Hall Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do any of that, let us
give them the high, hard, stanky cheddar.
That's right. Here's your weather. Enjoy. Never mind. I was going to do a Daniel Stern thing, and the moment's passed. We move on.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks pretty good today. Comfortable daytime highs. We'll be staying in the mid-70s with sunshine and just a little bit breezy. Overnight, a few clouds as some moist air begins to come over the mountains. We'll be in the low 50s and windy. Slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm on Wednesday afternoon. Otherwise, it'll be fair with our high in the upper 80s, 90s by Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 56 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 42%. Winds currently out of the south at 9 miles per hour. Sunny today. Highs in the mid-70s. 75 officially with south winds 15 to 20. Mostly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 50. South winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Wednesday, as you heard, Steve mentioned, there's a chance, a 20% chance of some showers and thunderstorms Wednesday afternoon, otherwise partly cloudy with a high of 87 tomorrow. It's going to warm up. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. That 20% chance of rain continues into tomorrow night. Mostly clear otherwise with an overnight low of 52 and south winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, highs near 94. Will be mid-90s on Thursday with southwest winds 5 to 10 early, 15 to 20 for the afternoon. Friday, sunny with highs near 90. And then looking at your weekend, sunny and 87 for Saturday, sunny and highs near 90 on Sunday. All right, it is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a 3-minute break. And then on the other side of the break, our interview we had on Thursday with Juanita Jennings, Public Affairs Director for the City of Roswell. That's up next. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
May the 4th be with you. Register for upcoming summer and fall classes at ENMU Roswell on Wednesday, May 4th in a Student Services Center on campus. Advisors can help you get registered and answer questions about financial aid and other support services. Enjoy snacks and prize giveaways, and may the 4th be with you. For more information, call 575-624-7294. Log on to roswell.enmu.edu.
Roll in and save during the Moneypoly event at Roswell Nissan with game-changing savings on a huge selection of vehicles like a 2017 Chevy Malibu for just $279 a month, a 2018 Escape for just $249 a month, or a 2015 Rogue for just $149 a month. Get a mini Monopoly board and play the Plinko Cash Grab for your chance at cold hard cash just for stopping by. Get a free trip to Vegas with a test drive and bring your mailer for the chance to win $50,000. Moneypoly all month long at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
At LeGrand Funeral Chapel, we believe that every funeral should be a reflection of the life it honors. The joys, the triumphs, the faith, the family, and so much more. For us, no detail is too small, no request too big. This is Rosa Aguilar. When the time comes to choose a funeral home, we hope you'll let us serve your family. At LeGrand Funeral Chapel and Crematory, we make it personal.
Wilbanks Trucking Services in Artesia is seeking dedicated and motivated individuals to join their team. Immediate openings include CDL drivers with pay starting at $25 to $33 per hour depending on experience. Riggers with pay starting at $20 per hour and open positions for lease operators. Wilbanks Trucking Services offers full benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and housing for out-of-town employees. For more information on career opportunities, please call 575-746-6318 or online at wilbanks.us. Wilbanks Trucking Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Your ride is broke, needs a fix? Come on down, we'll take care of it quick at Big O. Big O Tires. Whatever the problem will ease your fears, we got experience nearly 60 years at Big O. Big O Tires.
With nearly 60 years of experience and high customer ratings, you can always count on your local Big O Tires to give you quality products and trustworthy service, all for a low price. Come in now through May 8th and save between $70 and $100 on select sets of Bridgestone, Firestone, and Pirelli brand tires. Plus, receive free basic installation. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation required. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. See store for rebate and installation details.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 47.2% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Is this true? I'd say chances are about 50%. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us in studio this morning, Juanita Jennings back with us, Public Affairs Director for the City of Roswell. Welcome back. Good morning.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
Doing well. Great.
Good. How was your Easter weekend?
Easter weekend was wonderful.
Good. Did you get to do some stuff with the family and all that?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
My parents came into town, and my kids they got to see them, and then my brother and sister-in-law came in from Farmington.
Nice.
And so it was really great. It was really great.
I'm glad you got a day off. You don't get a lot of those. So
no, I don't get a lot of those. So it was
nice.
wonderful. It was wonderful.
Good deal. And the reason she doesn't get a lot of days off is because it's really busy right now. There's a lot going on, a lot of events, a lot of activities, a lot of information, just a lot of stuff going on right now for the weather change, isn't that all? That kind of brings it by default. Anytime the weather gets nicer, we want to go out to the zoo and go out to our parks and do these kind of things. So naturally, more events going on.
More events, yeah. And I think we're finally back. We're getting out of that COVID era, we hope, and things are opening up right now. At the Recreation and Aquatic Center, we're gearing up for the summer outdoor pool opening.
Nice.
And so we are still looking for lifeguards if people are interested. Our goal is to have the pool open around May 14th.
Okay, I knew it was around mid-May it come down.
On the weekends, and then officially, open daily after Memorial Day weekend through Labor Day. It should be a really great time. Lots of fun happenings, programming. We did an aqua egg hunt this year instead of our regular egg hunt, which was really fun. And
do you actually put eggs, or is it like a plastic egg?
Plastic eggs, not real eggs.
I was like, is an eggshell waterproof? I don't know. I never tested that theory.
That could be a good science project, man. But yeah, so that was really fun. And then adult volleyball. We're gearing up for adult volleyball, and so lots of different activities. On Friday night, they're having their glow-in-the-dark dodgeball tournament.
Oh, that'd be fun.
So if you want to come out and enjoy a game of dodgeball,
nice,
come join us.
And maybe you can use your extra stealth skills in the glow-in-the-dark version. That should be a lot of fun.
Yes.
And it's very affordable. You can, if you go to RoswellConnect.com, you can learn more about getting season passes, day passes, whatever, to the Recreation and Aquatic Center. And with the warmer weather coming, summer months, the outdoor pool, more people are going to want to use it. You might make out like a bandit here by taking advantage of like a season pass or a thing.
Yes.
That way, during the summer, if you're going once, twice a week, it's going to pay for itself quickly.
Yes, absolutely.
So definitely look into those kind of things as great alternatives. Save a little money and get some summer fun for the family. So.
Absolutely. And then this weekend at the Spring River Zoo, we're celebrating Earth Day.
Okay.
So April 23rd, we invite everybody to come out and celebrate our beautiful planet.
Nice.
We'll be having just different learning opportunities for our citizens.
Okay.
We have different companies that are coming out there. They'll have different booths. You'll get some goodies from them.
Okay.
So it's from 10 until 2 p.m.
Okay.
And so it should be a really great time.
Plus, you're out there at the zoo, so there's all the other zoo stuff going on,
all the other zoo stuff. Yeah, you should see our little wallabies. And one new thing that you're going to see at the zoo is our elks, our mom and dad elk.
Okay.
Alexis's parents. Remember last year we had the little baby? Well, she's not a baby anymore.
No, well, and
she's big baby.
A year ago, the problem was a new home for little baby becoming big baby. So that got solved, and now we got, I guess, new problem is we got to make room for more family coming in.
Yes. So our exhibit is done. It's completed. So thank you to our community, Roswell. You guys funded that with donations, our friends of the zoo. So the exhibit is done. So we got to bring mom and dad over. And so we moved them on Tuesday. And so far, knock on wood, so
Family's
good.
Getting along.
Family's getting along.
No family squabbles.
No. And so now we have 3 elk in that exhibit. So we have mom, dad, and then Alexis, our new little baby.
Well,
and
that should be fun for the zoo goers, because now you get to see them interact and kind of see, semblances of how they interact in their natural habitats in the wild, things like that. You'll see kind of a little bit closer resemblance to them in their natural environment.
They are big.
Yeah.
I did not realize how large these elks are, like when you are close up. They are huge.
Yeah, pictures don't do them justice.
No.
And then you stand next to them and you're like, oh, wow. Either I'm really short or that thing's pretty big.
Yes.
And
yeah, so they had their vet checks on Tuesday, and then they got moved over, and so far so good. So a new thing happening, and then in a couple of weeks we are going to open our butterfly garden, which is our pollinator garden. This year we're going to have butterflies. Again, it's more about the plant life, that how do butterflies become butterflies, from Project Chrysalis to all of the process. So that type of education, where the bears are just to the west of that area, it had been kind of just sitting there.
Sure,
and so
needed something to do there.
Yes. Our last December's campaign was to, again, help us with donations, the admission fees. Obviously, those help us to create these new projects.
Sure.
And so the weekend of May 7th, which will be a free zoo day, we invite the public to come out and see our butterfly garden.
Come meet the new members of the zoo there.
There's like 20 of them. And so just to set the expectation, there's not going to be hundreds or thousands of them, because part of the educational process is they have to kind of lay their eggs
Sure.
and mate.
It's the life
and
cycle,
It's the
yeah.
life cycle of it, but lots of different plants.
It just so happened, my wife, who's a
Mhm.
second grade teacher, she's doing like a unit very similar to this, and
Uh-huh.
so she ordered a little kit for the classroom, and it's basically she got a couple of the little larvae and
Uh-huh,
everything,
the
and
larvae.
a little cup.
Yes.
And of course they feed them, do all that stuff, and then they pupate into the. So then they go into their pupating phase, and then
Yes.
she has to transfer them to a little collapsible cage thing. And so this last weekend they actually hatched. They came out,
Yay,
and
that's
so now
exciting.
they're back in the classroom and everything. But I think at some point, once they've done the lesson, they'll release the butterflies.
Release the butterflies, yes. So
yeah.
we will have some butterflies that we'll release that day. And again, it's part of that educational
Yeah.
opportunity for our locals and then also for the tourists to see what we have. But mostly our goal is to bring in the schools, teach them a little bit about our circle of life.
And this is where that's why I'm a radio DJ and didn't get a career in science and math. Is that like, do butterflies only do that in the spring, or is that a year-round thing? I don't know.
So my understanding, there's different timings.
Okay.
So yes.
So I was curious, like, so is the butterfly thing like during the winter? Is it going to be kind of barren because they're not doing nothing during
No,
that
but
time, or if there's different breeds that do their thing in the winter? I have no idea.
Yeah. So the plan for that area, the pollinator garden, we're calling it the butterfly garden because it's just beautiful and you can do a lot more creative stuff.
Sure.
There will be butterflies, but the other part of the goal is that natural habitat for plants. So like bees, how do bees pollinate? So having those type of flowers
That
in
makes
there,
sense.
and then again using that as an educational
So it's
opportunity.
kind of like a seasonal microcosm. So in
Yes.
the spring, you're going to be seeing this, and this at the
Yes.
garden. As we go to summer, it's going to transition to this.
Yes.
And then in the fall, you're going to see this kind of stuff going. And then in the winter, you're going to see some things hibernate. You're going to see
Yes.
some things flourish. And so it really is kind of like a snow globe of the seasons in New Mexico and how wildlife and plant
Plants
life,
and insects
survive and live here in our part of the woods. So
Absolutely.
Okay, very cool.
So-
now I got it. So it's much bigger than butterflies.
Yes.
Got
yes,
it. Now
yes.
it makes
We're
sense.
starting.
Cool.
We're starting with butterflies, and we hope to grow to that. But
Very
again,
cool.
super big thank you to our community for supporting the zoo by coming to the zoo, buying things in the shop, because that is how we've been able to make this happen. And we hope to just continue doing more and more every year.
Absolutely.
So,
Well, and I know, and I don't know if this is your segue, but I'm going to crowbar it anyway. Ways to keep events and things happening like this is come out on, is it 30th? Or 30th?
April 30th.
30th is
Yes.
Brew at the Zoo.
Brew at the Zoo.
Which, how many years now have they been doing that? It's like 3, 4 now?
3 or 4. I
Yeah.
mean, with COVID, they
Yeah,
didn't
COVID
do-
kind of put a damper a little
Yes.
bit on it, but it's back in full blast once again. You can come and pre-register. Do you do that through Roswell Connect? Or?
You don't do that through Roswell Connect because
Okay.
that is actually, it's organized by our Friends of Spring River
So it's
Zoo.
all through the Friends of the
All
Zoo.
through the Friends, but all of the money that they raise go back to the zoo for
programs of the
capital
zoo.
projects. So
Yeah.
yes, so that is on April 30th. Tickets are $40. You can buy them at friendsofspringriverzoo.com.
And I believe it gives you a commemorative glass and 10 samples.
Yes, you get 10 samples of beer and you get a nice cup, and they'll have food vendors out there, and it's just a really great time.
Yeah. And they got a DD rate too,
They
so where
do.
you a different rate, and you get free
$25, yes.
Yeah,
Get
non-alcoholic
free
drinks,
soda,
and,
water.
and then of course there's going to be lots of food out there too.
Lots
so
of
so
food,
eat
yes.
eat up and eat the food, and even if you're not a beer drinker but you're a foodie, you probably could do a food crawl as easily as you could. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like whatever you're into, you can gorge on it to your heart's delight.
Yes, yes.
And of course, and then they'll have lots of opportunities for designated driving and all that. Be safe about
Be
it.
safe.
But yeah, come on out, have a beer, or maybe get some food. Come and hang out at the zoo, April 30th. Again, go through the Friends of the Spring River Zoo through their website or Facebook page.
Yes.
You'll find links there and get your tickets. Are they doing day of stuff, or is it all at the door?
They are doing at the door till.
Pre-registered. What I meant.
They're doing, yes. You can get your tickets ahead of time, and then they will do at the door if there are tickets
It's
available.
spaced. So first come, first serve, day of.
yes, we encourage you get them early.
Yeah.
Don't wait till the last minute.
Make it, because I think most people are planning the event, so they're going to
Yeah.
gather their friends and say, "Hey, we're going to
Yes.
have fun at the zoo on the 30th." And so, yeah, go and get your group of people together, and then go to the Friends of the Zoo's website and get your tickets.
I remember working I think it was the Oktoberfest when we were having it, and we had to turn people away at the door that night just because they waited so long, and
You
it was
feel
like,
bad.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, but
They just want to come and have a good time and help out
date
and
night and all that. So get your tickets early, make a plan, and do it early.
Plus,
so.
you look cooler amongst your friends when you come in advanced and all that stuff. I know it's it's kind of embarrassing when you get there and like, oh, I didn't plan right now. I gotta
Yeah.
So avoid all that. Just go and then all you gotta do is come and have a good time and enjoy the zoo and enjoy all the cool stuff and just out of curiosity, is there or is this way too far in the planning? Is there some projects or things that they've got earmarked that they want to do some things in the future with some of this money? Like, I just want to, far out future stuff. Say, hey, you come out and have a beer, you're contributing to this.
So our bear enclosures, our next big project, our big
so a
capital
lot of this
project,
will go towards that.
and then also our Leprino farmland experience, which is our main entrance. So those are the two big capital projects.
So that's kind of where the money will probably go first. Here,
Yes,
is that
yes.
stuff.
Other than that, right now, the other new thing that you're going to see, again, great support from this community coming to the zoo, is our reptile building is under construction right now. It hadn't been operable for many, many years. And so John, our new director, and myself, as it's been under our leadership, we really have set a plan of action as how do we improve this quality of life opportunity and tourist attraction to make it the greatest that it possibly can be with the resources that we currently have.
Absolutely.
And so every year our goal is to kind of improve it. And again, working with great partners like the Friends of the Zoo, we're able to do that.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, this is all bringing it, the goal of bringing this, because right now as it is, the zoo is really an animal rescue. That's all the animals that call the Spring River Zoo home are animals that can't make it in the wild for various reasons. So
most of them.
Most of them.
Yeah.
And so they call the place home because that's what we do. We take care of them and things like that. So as this place evolves, it's probably going to kind of transitioning it more like the biopark. And what I mean by that is it's more of a research and yes, it's there to come and enjoy and things, but it's as much as education and research and things as it is the entertainment and
conservation and really that's our goal. We're a rescue zoo, but we are steering away from that, and we want to be that educational conservation place for these animals and for our locals and visitors to really learn about the circle of life.
But in the big scheme of things, I think you guys are going to be both because at the end of the day, yes, we're using it for education stuff, but still at the same time, all the animals that are coming in are animals that are struggling out in the wild or in the natural habitats for various reasons, either because of man or because...
Some of them, not anymore. So we actually have 4 new, so like our wallabies, those were not rescue. Okay. Our capybara, those were not rescue.
Are they part of like...
Alexis, she wasn't a rescue.
Okay.
She, mom and dad. So we have... a partnership with other zoos.
That's
where
what I was asking.
Kind of transfer, babies, and it's kind of neat. So
it's kind of like the Smithsonian does, where they loan pieces to other museums. Same concept.
Same concept.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
So,
cool.
Pretty neat.
So which is unique for us because let's face it, there ain't a lot of wallabies native to our part of the world. You ain't gonna see them just, hopping up and down the highway or anything. They're not doing that.
And those wallabies are feisty.
Yeah.
They were cleaning out the pen and trying to do. Wow.
Yeah.
And they're fast.
I actually, when I was a teenager, I got to go to Australia. I was very fortunate through the Boy Scouts, and we got to go to the zoo, and so I got to hold koala bears and be right there with kangaroos and the wallabies, and so a lot of those animals that are native to Australia, New Zealand, those areas, and so it was kind of cool to hold them and see them. And I haven't done it since, obviously, but it's kind of neat that folks in Roswell can experience some of that stuff and not have to go to Australia to do it.
Yes, come on down. Yeah. Come on down.
Good deal. So, again, April 30th, Brew at the Zoo. Go to, is it like friendsofspringriverzoo.com?
Yes. Or you can find it on our website at springriverzoo.com. We have a link to their page, but
Very good.
Tickets. Get your
Excellent.
tickets.
What's next we want to promote?
So I think the next thing that we have coming up, obviously, is UFO Festival. We're in high gear. We're less than 72 days away about.
I'm thinking... And I'm not trying to make nobody nervous, but like right now is like the most nerve-wracking time for UFO. I mean, obviously the day of, everyone's scrambling, but we're in that spot where in a lot of people's brains it's still a ways out, but it's really not.
It's not.
So a lot of people are like, oh, we got time. And then you look, it's like it's almost May.
Right.
There's not a lot of time. So I'm guessing there's a little bit of the crunch pressure starting to feel a little bit with all the people involved on getting this ready.
Yeah, so we had our community meeting this past Tuesday. So thank you to everybody who came out. It's coming along really great. We have our kids zone area that we're looking for sponsorship. So if you're a business in this area and you want to sponsor the kids zone, which is an interactive experience for kids, please give us a call, 624-6700.
Lots of benefits for you, the business, as a sponsor as well. You get obviously you're helping out and being a part of this, but so I'm thinking if you're a kid-centric business of some kind, this might be a good thing for you to sponsor.
Absolutely, and lots of different marketing opportunities with the sponsorship. So different levels. We have our print deadline that's coming up, and that's why we say we need to have sponsors in no later than May 15th in order for them to get the full advantage of the exposure of our marketing dollars that are. There will be some local, thanks to some general fund money, but most of it will be external, bringing visitors in town. And then that weekend, our printed maps, our brochures, our calendar of our schedule of events, our signage throughout the city. There will be a lot of that to direct people where to go. 2 different locations, so our downtown district, and then just a couple blocks up at the convention center. That will be our kids zone, our Galaxy Cantina, which will be our beer garden, food trucks, vendors, inside guest speakers from the Daily Record, from the Roswell UFO Museum, Galacticon.
Nice.
And then, just lots of activities happening. The museum will have their planetarium shows.
Good.
And
those are always pretty popular.
Yes. And they'll have a new exhibit, Space Invaders. It's a really neat collection of art.
Cool.
The artist, he did a speaker talk just a couple of weeks ago, and so it's going to be fantastic.
Nice.
Ties in very well.
See, I'm still that age right here, Space Invaders. I think of the Atari game. With
Yeah.
It's like, cool,
It kind of looks like, almost like it kind of looks like that a little bit. So come check it out.
Yeah, very cool. So, and that's I know we always talk about, obviously the UFO Festival, we as a community, we love to bring as many people from all over the world to come and visit and all that. But we, the locals, check it out too. There's and I think there's a lot more that you're going to be like the food courts, the beer garden. And I know this, we have some awesome food trucks in town, but we get a lot of food trucks that come from outside the area to this too. So you not only get to kind of experience some of the local flavor, but some of the surrounding food trucks and what they're doing. So you really, some of outside cultures coming to us.
Yes.
And you get a chance to experience it without having to travel to them to go do it. So, so if you're like, well, I've seen aliens, I know that bit. Come out and experience the food, the flavor. Come out, bring the kids out, let them have fun. Come out to Galacticon and go.
And dress up if you want.
Yeah, and if you love memorabilia and collecting, that's where you're going to find all that stuff. Participate in the costume contests and all, because that's just a lot of fun. And without the local support, the out of town folks aren't going to really understand how cool it is without that local support, that local flavor. Every single one of us become ambassadors that weekend, because if you're downtown, there's always people that from out town. Hey, where's a good place to eat around here? Hey, hey, if I need to get some clothes for the kids, where can I go do that? Where, stuff like that. And guess what? You're the one saying, we go here, and you tell them your favorite places, and you be an ambassador for us.
Yes. Please do. And if you are willing, or you have a company and you have employees and you need to do some community service and you want to get out and expose your brand that weekend, come and volunteer with us. We are looking for volunteers. Again, we're looking for those brand ambassadors that are going to talk great about Roswell and why this is the best community to live in Southeast New Mexico.
Hey, maybe there's a bunch of people that have aspirations to be docents and those kind of things.
Yes.
Hey, this is great training for all of that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There will be activities at the zoo, again, downtown on the courthouse lawn, Pioneer Plaza, at Cielo Grande. There's going to be a night sky event that the Daily Record is doing. So just so many different activities.
And then, of course, always need the army of volunteers for the needed but less, the logistical side. Setting up booths, setting up tables, making sure water's where it needs to be, all that logistical stuff. We need an army of those folks that are available to do that. So if you've got time to volunteer during the week, and even if it's only one day out of the 3 or half a day, any of that would be greatly appreciated.
Absolutely. And then Saturday night, our big concert, Midland Academy of Country Music, nominee, come out, buy a ticket. It's $15 for general admission.
Yeah.
We did reach out to the artist, the band management, with our partner here, Josh Ragsdale at Pecos Flavor Winery. He's been helping us coordinate the logistics, and there might be some VIP tickets coming.
Oh,
so
great. Excellent. Which might include like a meet and greet and all that kind of stuff, possibly?
Crossing our fingers. So we put that in.
Knocking on some more wood.
Hopefully that will pan out. But I'm super excited. In preparation for UFO Festival, we have a new app coming.
Okay.
So that's our next thing that I want to talk about.
So it'll be like a UFO Festival app?
It is a visit widget. It's Visit Roswell.
So it's for all of tourism of Roswell.
Everything tourism Roswell. It's available, and I'm sharing it with our community today.
Awesome.
On the iOS and Android phones.
Okay.
So if you want to check it out, we're in our beta testing, so we're still launching. We're still updating. We'd love your feedback.
Sure.
But it's really to help our visitors and even our locals.
I was about to say,
Activities, events. If you are an organization and you have an event, we will advertise at no cost on the app as well as RC Roswell website.
I look at this as a modern, very modern version of answering the question when people sit down, what do you want to do this weekend?
Yes.
I don't know. What do you want to do? There's nothing going on. Get on your visit widget.
Yes.
And next thing you know, there's a whole list of things that are happening this weekend in Roswell, or deals going on at various locations or whatever it is. It's kind of, it sounds like it's almost like the, you could turn it in for, how newspapers always on their Friday editions have like their weekend journal, and it talks about this can in essence be a modernized version of that for locals. And obviously for our out-of-towners, when they get to town, they hit it and say, oh, look at all there's this place to go or this place to go. And so I you're right. I think I almost find that you might find locals find it more helpful than out-of-town folks sometimes. So
it definitely has a lot of local feel. We have like our Invaders schedule that's listed on there. We have Alien Dragway. So they're having events and they're sending us their stuff regularly. And it's free. It's the same thing that you're going to see on C Roswell's website. The one neat thing is that if you want to offer a special deal specific to your business, we can do that, and we can target market these locals through the app.
So it's a quick way to get that word out.
A quick coupon or sending them a text message notification when they sign up. It's all optional, but it's called C Roswell. It's the visit widget, and it's on your Android or iPhone store.
And obviously, as a business and you're participating in this thing, you can use that to tell your customers, hey, you want to hear exclusive deals only for us? Download the visit widget and be on the lookout, because from time to time we're going to put something up there.
Yes.
And so you can use that to kind of a synergy where they're marketing for each other here, as the businesses are telling their customers to get more so they can service their customers better. And on the other side, the city's saying, hey, come see all the wonderful things we have in this community that you may or may not know about. So it's really I like it. It's a great idea.
Thanks.
So I guess the public's is download it, start utilizing it, and give
us feedback.
Give us some good feedback. Find things that you're finding useful, things that you're not finding useful, things that you would like to see in there that you would find useful. Feedback all that information, so now they can go from we've got a product, let's tweak it to make it the most useful for everyone.
Yes. We have 2 other interactive things, because that's my goal, is we want people to have an interactive, immersive experience when they come to Roswell. There are tours and challenges on the app. So if they go through a tour, so right now we have the museum murals throughout the city of Roswell. If they go through that tour and they check in on the app, they come back to the visitor center, and we're going to give them a free little token of our appreciation. The other challenge, if they go into so many businesses in our downtown district or throughout the city, again, we're gonna incentivize them to get out in our community, and so they can get badges, and it's almost like catching Pokemon or geocache. It's kind of like that, and so we're really excited and hope our locals love it, and hope the tourists enjoy it as well.
That in of itself may be something to do for the weekend, for some of the family says, hey, let's go on a mural scavenger hunt this weekend and go and try to find all the murals and play in the game here a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. And at the same time, you accidentally learn stuff about our community and find out things. So
we're going to have like a history tour. I mean, there's so much that we'll be rolling out. We're starting small, and then we'll go to it, but would love your feedback.
Absolutely. And I could even see, we're just all the time, but I could even see this evolving to creating new programs and events, like
maybe not so much this town, but you know how like back east they'll have like ghost tours and things like that. I mean, I don't know if our town has enough haunted history to do that, but there you go. But I'm saying we could do all that through this. You know what I mean? So there's towns like Savannah, Georgia that had like civil wars go through them, and so their ghost opportunity is a little bit stronger than ours out here in Roswell.
Absolutely. There is that opportunity, definitely starting with history, because we have so much great history here. So much great
hidden history.
Hidden history. And so John LeMay, he's helping us with that. He's going to be our voiceover. And
nice.
So it'll be great. It'll be really great.
Very cool. But again, look in your Android and Apple stores right now and download it. Is it under Roswell Widget?
It's under See Roswell Visit Widget.
See Roswell Visit Widget. You type that in, it should pop right up.
Yes.
Although if you put like Roswell Visit Widget, it probably should pop up in your
and you'll
in your
see our
list there.
brand. You'll see our logo.
So download it. It's free. All that good stuff. And give it a dance later on today here.
Yeah.
Of course, if you have any questions about anything we're talking about, 2 websites I'm going to point you to. The RoswellConnect.com, all things recreation side of the city.
Yes.
Tickets, passes to like the museums and the aquatic center, all that. You're going to go through Roswell Connect. And then the city's government main web page, roswell-nm.gov. You can go there to do things like pay your water bill, learn about city council, learn library, all the other
great things.
Parts of the city here. You can find access to all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Very good. Is there anything we missed?
No, we're hiring. So if you need a job for the summer, guest services, $12 to $15 an hour.
By the way, those college kids, like I said, the pool's opening. Get them applying now and then get their lifeguard training, do all that required. So mid-May when things open up, they're ready and
ready to go.
Whistle in hand and that red thing that they all carry in Baywatch.
Yes. Yes. It'd be great.
Thank you, Juanita.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Sounds good.
Don't work too hard. I have to tell you that because you don't listen. It is
never ending.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. A number of GoFundMe pages have sprung up to help raise money for families affected by the McBride fire. Many buildings burned in the blaze and several people lost pets or livestock. Thankfully, no serious injuries to humans were reported. Some families have been staying in area hotels or motels. The Carlsbad Current-Argus reports at least a dozen fundraising pages have now been started to help those affected by the Ruidoso area fires. An Artesia man will face up to 43 years in prison when he's sentenced after a jury found him guilty Friday of 4 counts of sexual exploitation of a child. 45-year-old Edward Bingham was convicted Friday after a 3-day trial in Chavez County. Prosecutors alleged Bingham communicated and initiated sexual relations with a 14-year-old girl, which began in 2018 after he met the girl in a parking lot near the Roswell International Air Center. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
This is what New Green Deal socialism looks like. This is what artificially reducing the world's supply of energy looks like to satisfy the climate alarmist religious cult in this country, or New Green Deal socialists in this country. It's not Putin's inflation. It's never been Putin's inflation. For months and months, we're setting record after record after record. All right, now we're going to blame Vladimir. Let's blame Vladimir for this. How do you know? Blaming Vladimir for producer prices going up 11.2%. These numbers just out today. I mean, this is a significant amount of money.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Paid for by Bank on Yourself. Have you been putting your retirement savings in a 401k, IRA, or investment account? Then I have one word of advice. Stop. You've seen what's happening in the market. This is clearly no time to gamble. Can you really afford to lose any more of your retirement savings? Hey, here's the good news. You don't have to lose another penny because there's a better, safer way to save for retirement. And you can learn all about it in a free report. This is the report Wall Street desperately hopes you'll never see. Why? Because this method continues to grow your money, even when the market tumbles, just as it's done for more than 160 years. And it gives you tax-free and penalty-free access to your savings. These are treacherous times. times. And now, more than ever, you can't afford to take one wrong step. So get the information you need today to guarantee your retirement security. Hurry. To get this free report, go to SaveYourRetirementNow.com right now. That's SaveYourRetirementNow.com. SaveYourRetirementNow.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks pretty good today. Comfortable daytime highs. We'll be staying in the mid-70s with sunshine and just a little bit breezy. Overnight, a few clouds as some moist air begins to come over the mountains. We'll be in the low 50s and windy. Slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm on Wednesday afternoon. Otherwise, it'll be fair with our high in the upper 80s, 90s by Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. The Goddard Rockets baseball team in a position to contend for the district championship later this week against Artesia, but the Rockets had a time doing it against Portales after losing the opener of a 3-game set on Thursday to Portales. The Rockets bounced the Rams a couple times on Friday, but both by a single run, and both after Goddard established big leads. They won the first game 9-8 after leading 9-3. Cinco Holloway had 3 RBIs for the Rockets in that first one. Second game, Goddard led 5-0. Portales stormed back to score 4 in the 7th, but the Rockets win, and Caleb Seeley was the winning pitcher there, only giving up 1 earned run. So it's Goddard against Artesia Thursday and Friday this week. Meanwhile, Roswell loses a pair to Carlsbad. They'll finish out the schedule against Clovis later this week. Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. A closely watched barometer of consumer sentiment, the Conference Board's Consumer Confidence Index, edged lower this month. The index stands at 107.3 for April. That is down from a reading of 107.6 last month. New home sales tumbled last month, dropping 8.6%, according to the government. Sales of new houses fell to an annual rate of 763,000. United Airlines says it plans more transatlantic flights this summer than in 2019, a wager that international travel will bounce back strongly despite the persistent coronavirus pandemic. Losses on Wall Street in mid-morning trade, with big tech companies leading the way lower, ahead of a busy week of earnings reports from several of them. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Whether you're buying or selling, no one likes to be pressured into making a decision. So when Roswell Ford makes an offer to buy your vehicle, you'll have 7 days to think about it. Roswell Ford is always looking for gently used cars and trucks like yours, and we'll make you a cash offer on the spot. It'll probably be more than the other guys, and we'll give you a week to think about it. That's just the way we do business at the Tailgate Nation. So it only makes sense to see us first when you're ready to sell or to buy. Roswell Ford has southeastern New Mexico's largest inventory of nice pre-owned vehicles. Each one has survived a rigorous 139-point inspection, and Roswell Ford gives you a 3-day money-back guarantee. So if you find something you don't like, you can just bring it back. With the days getting longer and summer driving on the horizon, now's the time to start shopping for your next vehicle. So come see us at Roswell Ford, the Tailgate Nation, where we'll always give you time to think about it. 9th and Main.
Roswell is our home. That's why we've all got to do our part to stop illegal dumping. Throwing your trash, clutter, or yard debris in the alleys, sidewalks, or streets is a crime, and it takes time and money to clean it up. Those caught dumping illegally can face fines of up to $500. You can help by taking your waste to the landfill once a month for free with a paid water bill. Call the City of Roswell Solid Waste Department for more information at 575-624-6746. Help keep Roswell clean. After all, do you want your kids to grow up in a dump?
Your ride is broke, needs a fix? Come on down, we'll take care of it quick at Big O. Big O Tires. Whatever the problem will ease your fears, we got experience nearly 60 years at Big O. Big O Tires.
With nearly 60 years of experience and high customer ratings, you can always count on your local Big O Tires to give you quality products and trustworthy service, all for a low price. Come in now through May 8th and save between $70 and $100 on select sets of Bridgestone, Firestone, and Pirelli brand tires. Plus, receive free basic installation. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation required. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. See store for rebate and installation details.
Roswell Skin Center, a brand new state-of-the-art facility located in the 400 Penn Plaza building here in Roswell, is now accepting new patients. Dr. Brandon Cometti and his team offer a full range of skin care services, including general dermatology, surgical and cosmetic procedures, including cutting-edge laser rejuvenation, Botox, filler, laser hair removal, chemical peels, and other non-invasive options to improve skin health and turn back the hands of time. Call and schedule your appointment at Roswell Skin Center today, 208-2509. That's 208-2509.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
And we're closing in on 10 o'clock. That's about going to do it for us for today's show. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of it. If you missed any part, check it out at your leisure, ksvptv.com or our 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook wall, or check out our YouTube channel, Roswell's Talk FM on YouTube as well. That's going to do it for us. We'll talk to you bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. You're listening